Welcome, weary travelers, to another exciting episode of Arcanarama. I'm Cameron Holt, artist and YouTuber over at youtube.com/Fablefire and Dungeon Master here at Arcanarama. I'm joined, as always, by the glowing Arcana crew. Tell everybody your favorite food, Arcana crew.
No, you can't put me on the spot like that.
Oh, okay. Peach rings, lime juice, tahini, beer salt.
That's a really specific food.
Too many hands.
That is really specific.
You eat
I like
with
Asian
chopsticks?
cuisine.
I also like that.
I like fried chicken and mashed potatoes and biscuits.
I like
y'all.
cheam creams.
Cheam cream.
Cream cheese?
No, cheam creams. I love cheam creams. Did the music be turned down a touch? You asked what our favorite food was, and it was like the most epic thing that's ever happened.
That's fair. Here,
It's
I'll
like a
skip to a
DVD
less
menu.
epic song. All right. Before we begin, we have some very big announcements that we need to get through. So at the top, I'm going to toss it over to Miranda.
Hi. Hey. What's up? So I have very good news. Very exciting news. I'm gonna be moving. I am dropping some responsibilities. And I'll have some free space.
Can you wait just a second,
Cameron, you
Miranda?
calm down.
I had to make
Fucking
this.
Christ.
I had to make it as us as possible.
Do you need some bread?
Yeah, you
No,
need some bread?
not yet.
That reference?
No,
No.
that's for the real
From the
thing.
No, that's
from
just
the-
for friends and family, I guess.
From the tough crit days. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Do you want water? Are you
I have water. That's the
Okay.
what caused this problem. Please continue.
No. Are you, okay. Okay. Do you want like a lozenge?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You can't keep avoiding the matters at hand.
Anywho, hi. What's up? I'm moving to a different state. I'm gonna be moving to Washington State, and oh god, like 3-4 weeks.
I'm so jealous.
I'm so scared. But I now have some space and some time to work on some things that I've been wanting to do for a very, very long time. And if I play my cards right with the next few months, an opportunity to make art full time. And I think I gotta reach for it. 12-year-old Miranda is screaming that I gotta reach for it. And if I'm gonna gamble on anyone else anymore, it should be me. So, some changes will be happening. I'm not gone forever. You will never not see my face again. I don't know if that double negative really landed the way it was supposed to, but I'm not gone forever. I will be taking like a gentle step back into something funner and cooler. And
Equally fun and cool.
no, I've been waiting for this campaign for my entire life. I'm so excited for it. But I'll still be an Arcana crew. I'll still be here. You'll still hear my voice and maybe see me in photo. And also, I'll be visiting. So it's not like goodbye forever. I'll come say hi. I'll pop on the stream. I'll always be in the chat, like forever. So like, just a gentle transition, a gentle slide. Not a goodbye, but I'll see you around, really.
Yeah. And that brings us into our next little announcement, which is that we will be streaming next week on September 3rd, next Saturday, for episode 41, because we kind of all talked about this over the last couple of weeks, and we didn't want to have to cram, push Aurora off a building in one episode.
I suggested it.
You guys
There
are
are-
Buildings aren't tall
there
enough.
are
already a vampire. It wouldn't even work.
Exactly. You can just walk down the
And
wall.
that's true of Miranda as well, actually. She can't be killed.
I literally cannot.
It's true.
Boy, it.
I suggested it.
So,
If we can't have her.
so that gives us a couple episodes to kind of, narratively figure things out on our side, and at the same time, gives you all a chance to get excited for a very, very special farewell stream for Miranda next Saturday on the 3rd. Farewell from this stream
just this
specifically, which leads me into our next announcement. We the Arcana crew and myself are going to be working now on a very special new podcast. And I'm going to throw it over to Taylor with more details.
Hi, it's the other white guy at the table. We have a podcast.
Oh no, what have we done? I'm tired of giving men platforms.
No. They are giving all of us a platform.
Oh, ugh. I guess.
Sold. No, I've been writing this thing for a long time. Before I knew that Spelljammer was being rewritten, been writing this space thing for a long time. I've tested it once briefly,
It's fucking sick.
sort of, and I want to go further into it. And it's going to be essentially the scaffolding of D&D and fantasy with, I don't know, Hitchhiker's Guide and Star Trek Next Gen and a bunch of other stuff kind of mixed in. So it's Arcanarama in space.
We're gonna get launched into space.
We're gonna launch into
please.
space.
Please, I knew that would immediately become a thing. We said no.
But yeah, it's something I don't know. I've been hybridizing a lot of things and ship mechanics and some things that are too crunchy and some things that are not enough. But yeah, maybe you'll listen to it. Who cares?
You gotta run better ads than that. You can't do it. Who
Something at
cares?
you.
I'm excited. It's going to be called Frontier, and that's all I'll say for now. But I've been doing a lot of work on it.
Yeah, and it looks dope as hell. So yeah, just in case anybody's just trickling in, I've got my eyes on the chat right now, so I see that some of you weren't around. Miranda is going to be moving to Washington State. So in lieu of opting for keeping Miranda as part of the stream, but having her at the disadvantage, because like I know that there's a ton of D&D streams out there. Most of the D&D streams on this platform are mostly over Discord, but having only one player be over Discord and the rest in person puts that person at a disadvantage as far as like roleplay and seeing maps, timing, connection issues, and all of that stuff. But our podcast won't be streamed live. It will actually be recorded and edited. So if any of those things pop up or if we have any
Sound
issues.
effects, baby.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm gonna make them all with my mouth.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm bad at it.
so should any of those issues arise, they can just be cut and snipped away. So it's not a goodbye to Miranda. It's a see you later.
It's also a blooper reel. We'll have a blooper reel.
At the end of every episode, we'll have to have like get the cat off the table moments.
Yeah. So yeah, Taylor's going to be running a new campaign for us called Frontier. And it's Arcanarama in space, and that's all you need to know. It is not Spelljammer. It is a Taylor original.
Yeah, man. Fuck you,
Tailor-made.
Spelljammer.
We got
went
to
back
see
and, like,
some sneak peeks today, and it was wild.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cool. I'm excited for my character. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I might send up the black and white one to watching Arcanarama live.
Oh my goodness.
If you're in the Discord, also just kind of keep in touch and follow along with us on here and during announcements and also on social media. We don't have an exact date because we want to let Miranda get settled in.
And we'll have to edit after we record.
Yeah, so just keep an eye out and we'll be sure to blast it whenever that is ready to be released.
Also, real quick, because I just saw it come up, the stream is continuing.
Yes.
Me, Cameron, Kitty, and Taylor are all still going to be live on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We will be doing an additional item with Miranda because we don't want to stop playing with her, and you guys don't want to stop hearing her beautiful voice, and we know this. And we'll just take pictures of our screens and send them all to you. We'll be like, oh, look, we're filming, so you can see her.
Yeah, so if that's not a pitch to get in the fucking Discord right now, I don't know what is. There's a link in our About section.
Airplane mode.
A few more announcements. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff. We are still going to be off September 10th and 17th because the rest of the Arcana crew is going to actually be out of town during those weeks, which sadly we're going to be like in an airport or on a plane for our anniversary of Arcanarama on the 18th.
I'm going to take bad pictures for all of you.
We'll put those in the Discord as well.
How long is the plane ride?
Like
It's like 3 hours.
One shot, right?
Oh,
we all
we
get-
would
if we all-
ruin the lives of every other
You'll
passenger.
just have like mics on the plane, like okay,
Yeah, one shot in the air.
that we can't release until
Everyone
we get.
Yeah.
just get AirPods. You just record it through the AirPods. This is easy peasy. I can figure this out for you guys.
No, hold. This is a group of people who can't be fucking quiet for 10 minutes. Like, what are we gonna do to the other people on that poor airplane?
Yeah,
Tuck
we're
your
already
kid.
bringing a toddler and a baby with us. Like it's.
I
All
don't know
right,
why the airplane is so sad.
so we're gonna be
I'll
off.
give that airplane some money.
We're gonna be off the 10th and the 17th, but we're gonna be back on September 24th with a very, very special one-shot featuring the Gilded Rogue themselves, McCall Clark. Is going to be joining us for a very special one-shot, a concept that was actually brought up by Katie and Taylor, who ideated it, and then I said, mine. And it's going to be, I'll say now, it's called the Order of Heralds. Because in a world as dangerous as Kavora, the people that are delivering the mail have got to be something special.
Or mail.
Someone has to draw someone in the shorts.
They also have little cropped jackets.
Yeah, it's going to be very like...
I love a crop jacket.
I realized you could go with Attack on Titan as well, but I went with Full Metal because the blues.
The blues, man.
Yeah.
That gold trim.
Listen,
It's going to be very fun.
I agree, but I disagree.
So, yeah, we'll be back on September 24th with the Order of Heralds one-shot featuring McCall Clark from the Gilded Rogue, one of our lovely sponsors here at Arcanarama. Speaking of, I'm going to throw it over to Taylor once again to tell you a little bit about our sponsor.
The Gilded Rogue. It's a sponsor. They got a website and they got clothing and also pillow and cup. You should buy
Dog collar.
things from there because when you buy things from there, they plant a tree. Every item you buy, a tree is planted, and they tell you all about why it's good, why plant good. Earth need plant, you need clothes.
Do need clothes.
And they have petroleum-made clothes just for you. I just realized the irony of all that. The so go out there and buy a forest of merch.
Who else is sponsoring us?
That's the GildedRoad.com next sponsor.
How are we going to tear this one down? Let's do it.
I don't know. There's a lot of oil in this one too, isn't there? Some more fun comics and games supplies us with one of the prizes that we give out every week, and this is it. It's a mystery box. If you win it, we don't even know what you get unless you tell us to open it for you. But
Which you can do.
It comes with 4 to 6 pre-painted minis, depending on the size of them that are in there. If I'm not mistaken, it says 4 on this box. But this one's Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Very, very wild stuff. There's like a hot air balloon, a guy in overalls, Harlequin. It's some stuff.
A bunch of fancy fae.
It's kind of like Pan's Labyrinth if Tim Burton directed it. So deal with that however you will.
That's a very accurate representation of the Feywild.
It's
I
not
would say.
bad. Yeah. So enter to win that after Cameron tells you how to do that. Cameron, throw it to Kitty.
Okay. Kitty,
I can't.
Catch this.
Just kidding.
Speaking of sponsors and things you can wear, talk about that.
Okay. We have things that you can wear that have been designed specifically around our show. So those are also found on the Gilded Rogue. They're hosting a whole tab that is all us for our own, and you still plant trees. And you can get things with our stuff on them, and you should wear them and plant a tree at the same time. It's great. It's good news. Anyway, we also have a website, arcanaramashow.com, designed by Taylor, husband.
Oh.
And it has like our player bios, character bios, a lot of fun links to different places and stuff, just all about us and about the show. And it's also cool. So look at it.
And soon to be a survey.
And soon to be a survey.
Yeah.
We're going to have a Robbie put together. Stream Director Robbie!
Stream Director Robbie, put him in the chat.
Put him in the
I want to see that handsy boy.
Stream director Robbie put together a wonderful survey for everyone that is to be taken anonymously, I believe.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting feedback from y'all on how you feel about the show, the first campaign, like how we do the stream, how it looks, all of this kind of stuff, where you can just give us some honest sort of like, I like this, I don't like this.
You
like,
don't gotta be like nice, like, oh, you guys are
suggestions.
pretty, and everything you say is great.
But
But
you
it
can.
is true.
Yeah, but like, it's meant to be anonymous, so you don't feel like you have to say something.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that'll be up on our website soonish, I think. I don't know, but we'll let you know when it's there. If you want to fill it out, you can. That's Arcanaramashhow.com and also thegildedrogue.com for our merch. There's a link from the website, I believe, too. So just, click on the things.
We're being rated.
Already? Whoa, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Howdy. What's up?
You found us in the announcements. We're about to start the game.
Shout out to Sky McSparkle. Thanks for the raid.
Sky McSparkle!
Yeah, we're just getting towards the middle part of our announcements where Sam tells everyone where they can find us on
pressure.
social
Hello,
media.
everybody. What convenient timing.
Make it interesting and brief, Sam.
Okay.
Punch!
So we are Arcanarama, the Arcana crew. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Arcanarama Show. We also have a TikTok where we post previous clips, either our funniest moments, our most stressful moments, the moments where we were crying, the moments where we were glad, the moments where we met new friends, the moments where we ran over a water Jadasi with a cart. It happens to the best of us.
We didn't see
That
it.
is at Arcanarama on TikTok.
Nowhere.
We also have a link to our Discord in the About section here on Twitch. You don't have to navigate out of Twitch to get to it. We have all sorts of chats in there. Everybody in this chat right now is a really great friend and viewer and audience member, and we love them dearly. And they talk about so many things that you might enjoy as a person. And if it's not there, then we will add it for you so that you can have other friends who enjoy that thing with you in our Discord, including us, maybe. We're into lots of stuff.
We're easily bribable, too. You asked for it.
Yeah.
That's not really a bribe. That's a request.
Hey, speaking of bribes,
No, give us money.
we have we have 2 giveaways tonight.
This is why Quebec doesn't like us.
It's not a bribe. It's
specific.
just and it's extra. Our first giveaway, as we mentioned, from our sponsor, More Fun Comics and Games, our local comic book shop here in North Texas, is this wonderful mystery pre-painted mini set from WizKids, provided by More Fun Comics and Games. And our second giveaway of this evening is this beautiful set of handmade Fablefire dice. I don't remember what they're called.
They're
Oh
pretty.
no!
I think I just called them like
Pearlescent something, right?
Yeah.
What?
Swirls of pearls.
Swirls of pearls.
Rose of Pearl.
Yeah, they are lovely. They are half pearlescent glittery white and half pearl, like straight up pearl dust stuff that flashes like reddish pink in the sunlight. They're gorgeous, they're beautiful, and they can be yours for free. All you got to do is follow us right here.
Hey.
And you can be my dice
That's
twin.
hard.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, Kitty has a set right there.
I do, sure.
And then you just burp. Also,
You should really. We need to show new people what we're about.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
You like burps?
So yeah, in order to be eligible to enter the giveaways and win, you must be a follower here at twitch.tv/Arcanarama. So click the little heart. Doesn't cost you anything, and it just makes us look and feel good, kind of. Also, a huge shout out to Sky.
I feel good.
Huge shout out to Sky McSparkle for the raid, as well as Crimson Rockstar, who I assume partook in the raid. For the follows, you guys got us up to 195. When we hit 200 followers, all of us here are artists. We're going to be doing a very special art stream where we're going to go through the monster manual, page by page, and make it sexy.
Maybe make it a couple weeks. I can't draw anymore.
But we're gonna be out.
We'll have to plan it because it is going to be a charity stream
Yeah,
whenever we do the special stream.
It's drawing that got me here.
There's a chant in the chat right now for sexy monsters.
You're looking at him. You're looking at him.
5 followers away, and then we have to plan it and make it happen. It probably won't be until October. I'll go ahead and say that, just because we're going to be gone for 2 weeks of September.
Yeah.
What? We're on YouTube. If you're new here, I'm sorry.
Is the ADHD tag still on?
Yeah, the ADHD tag is still on.
If you're new here, we're on episode 40. Obviously, that's a little drawing in a D&D stream. There is a link to our YouTube in our About section where all of our previous episodes have been posted. I'm so sorry, but I realized that was important.
Oh, yes, that is important information.
No, you're right.
Yeah, if you want to catch up on the show and see where we started and how we got here, YouTube is the way to do that. And it's all there for you to enjoy. That's the Fable Fire Dice giveaway and more. Now I'm going to throw it over to Miranda because it's time before we begin.
Hi.
For vibe check.
Hey.
Every night.
How's your vibes? How's your week been? Hey, Virgo babies. Happy birthday!
Oh,
Hello,
thank you
hi.
very much.
Hello, my mutable
resident
sign
Virgo.
babies. I hope you're having
Also
a great
mine.
Virgo season. I hope it's nice and great. And don't try to plan every single thing. You won't be able to. Stop it. Don't do that. You can't. Anywho, I love you, and I hope your vibes are okay. Hey, if you do like an exclamation point vibe check in the chat, you can roll your own vibes. You can see how you can tell your own future via the dice rolls. What did you get? Do it. Do it right now. Hey, what
got
did
a
you guys
15.
get?
Oh, shit. Are we...
Oh, hey. That's
Is
really cute.
Arcanarama live?
Robbie?
Yes.
Yo, that's exciting.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you were still testing it. I didn't know it was live. Thank you,
Whoa,
Robbie.
Cookie Dog rolled a nat 20.
Hey, what did you guys roll? I
I
heard a
got a
15.
10.
15.
Speaking of... Hey, guys, Cookie Dog, that's McCall.
That's our
the
new
Gilded
friend.
Rose.
Oh my god! Hi, that's a nat 20. Cookie
dog.
That's fucking sick.
That's so rad.
No.
I'm sick.
How'd you guys do?
10.
15.
Nice.
I hate that you write it down.
17.
17?
He's up to things.
Okay. Hey.
This is Taylor rolling this, not Silas,
What you
my
got?
character here on our...
7.
We're gonna call it a lucky 7.
I got
Yeah.
a 5, so...
Yeah, no, that's a good number. That's a solid number. Straight up like
Solid 5. All right.
shaped with 5 sides. It's like a penta something.
Without further ado, I think it's time for us to jump into tonight's episode 40 of Arcanarama.
Arcanarama.
Previously on Arcanarama, the Mistwalkers began the long journey from Mossendel to the Silver Stake village outside of Altanen. Along the way, the party investigated a hefty mound of dragon droppings, witnessed a failed naval battle on the Glimmick Ocean, and ran a young water genasi woman over with their animated cart. They learned that the woman's name is Nori, and that they've technically met before, though she was encased in ice at the time. After some conversation, the Mistwalkers discovered that Nori had been frozen in the ice for 62 years, though she doesn't seem to be aware of the passage of time. With the knowledge that the city the woman called home was destroyed during the Grimdalian invasion some 60 years past, the party decided to hold off on informing her of her situation, instead opting to bring her along in their travels until they can safely transport her to the Wiltbloom College of Magic in Kalima. After another day of travel, the party arrived at the now abandoned Silver Stake Village. Investigating her childhood home, Aurora found 2 notes, one from her mother, Argilus, and one from her sister Ada. She discovered that Ada's note hid a secret message. Argilus lies. Altanen not safe. The discovery of the hidden message came just in the nick of time. As the party was approaching the city of Altanen, they saw massive banners fluttering from the battlements emblazoned with the symbol of the Silver Stake, signifying their occupation of the city. Will our heroes be able to infiltrate Altanen unnoticed? What surprises lie in store for our heroes within the city walls? Which of Aurora's notes are to be trusted? Find out right now on Arcanarama.
Welcome back. We begin, as always, right where we left off. As you all sit within the animated cart discussing your plans to potentially infiltrate the occupied city of Altanen, a curious pair of familiar charlatans are approaching from the opposite direction on the path.
I'm gonna try to kind of get their attention if I can.
Yeah, make a
Why
persuasion.
are you telling me that?
That's a nat 20. Woo!
You had fireworks this whole time?
I know.
How do you hail the pair of charlatans?
Oh, man. I don't remember how we were situated. We're like off of the path, kind of in the woods, yeah?
Yeah, as is the case with most of Mistinor, there's not like paved roads.
Yeah.
Everything is pretty rough and tumble, hence the animated cart that has to have legs instead of wheels.
It would be easier to pave the roads than
Not with the things waiting out there. Also, when sometimes the ground turns to water because wild magic.
Okay, that's true.
Is it more like a lot of things have gone down this path? It isn't a path, but because people have seen.
Correct. It's a worn path.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really not the. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna. She twirls out of the woods and just does like a little wave. Because I got a nat 20 to get someone's attention. Thank
That
you.
was lovely. Marshwalkers.
Mistwalkers, yes.
The
Right.
The Mistwalkers. Yeah.
Lovely to see you all again. As he's talking, you see as Hazel's face changes from what was this like very different kind of like male pattern baldness, late 40s man to the familiar younger face that you met within the swamp.
Nice to see you again. I'm
Yes,
surprised that you hadn't beat us here.
Honestly.
Oh, well, we decided to take your advice and stop by Mossendale, check it out. Not bad.
Very good.
All right. Well, I know you haven't quite made it all the way down there yet, but we did happen to notice there are these large, sort of banners of silver stake plastered all over Altanen.
I had noticed that on the way down. Yes, that is quite a problem. Earlier, have you all kind of like stepped out of the cart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, after this
They
whirl.
can't have missed my twirl. I don't know what it is.
It is wonderful to see you all again. How have your travels been? Pretty well, easy? Putting down any tyranny? Any down with any tyranny?
No, they've been fine. We didn't run over any civilians
No.
or.
Oh, well, one. But it was an old friend that we ran over. So
Sort of.
that's good.
Yes.
Acquaintance, really.
See,
We've gained.
let's make an insight check
Okay. Like a classic Silas insight check.
with advantage.
Ooh.
Thank you for joining us.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Yeah, what if you put these two numbers together? What was that?
Oh.
Sure looks like a 69 to me.
Nice.
It's 15. Wait.
Ew.
16. It's a 16.
16 is enough. 16.
Why do they get to make sex jokes on the street?
Oh, come on.
You
we
get the
do
sense.
all the time. These people love balls. What are we talking about?
Silas, you get the sense that that was a not very subtle attempt from Hazel to use the call and response of the Harpers. He seems to be kind of gauging if you are the same people that he met.
Oh. Yes. I believe you're trying to say something. I think you might be a bit out of order, right?
No?
Down with tyranny, right?
And justice for all.
And justice for all, right? And I was supposed to say injustice.
Shit, did you just... He's gonna make a persuasion check. He's gonna roll insight to see if you just played him to get the...
Oh, good. It's not good. 7.
He rolled a 6.
Whoa.
Right. Kind of like checks around him. Perhaps we could talk under the trees a bit more?
Yes.
Had a rough time at the casino?
No?
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, fine. Sorry.
We're just sort of in the open, I think.
I will say you gave us pretty poor information because Mossendale was rife with orphans.
Well, we didn't ask about the orphan status.
We didn't say, hey, you should go to Mossendale. There's no orphans there. That's not something
No,
we
but I
say to
asked
people.
and you seemed indifferent.
We weren't really.
No, I think we
checking
didn't
for-
know
Yeah, we
the
don't-
orphan
How do you not
stuff.
notice orphans? They're everywhere. Anyway,
We go to a town for food and for sleep and for food and sleep.
To
We
be
don't go.
fair-
We don't walk in and say, hey, how is the orphans here?
oh, perhaps I'm mistaken. We go from town to town to make a buck for ourselves, but also to spread justice for all and to bring down tyranny,
Especially for orphans.
Is it?
especially for orphans.
Is it an orphan-focused organization? to remember of.
Well, yes.
Can you think of a more downtrodden group?
Do I get anything if I'm an orphan?
Is this far enough into the woods for you? Are we fine?
Yes, this looks good.
All right. We'll get back to that later.
Yeah, I guess.
Let me speak plainly. Myself and my cohort here have been sent this way by our organization.
Mert.
Mert. Is he an operative?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I didn't know if you knew of Mert. Sorry.
Not personally aware. Does he operate out of Mistador?
No. Waterdeep.
That would explain it.
Winter.
Never been that way myself.
Oh, good. Sorry.
We haven't received word from any operatives within the city for several days. So, myself and my friend Spark here were sent to check up on things, posing as traveling merchants. We've got a couple of bags full of silks and furs and the like, to see if we can suss out what's going on in the city. Seems pretty apparent from here, but we probably should continue on our way just to make sure things are still kosher
How
within the
much
city.
do you know about the city?
Altanen,
Yes.
a bit. I know that a portion of the city, the Undertow District, I think he reaches into his a bag at his side, and you see as he kind of reaches his hand down deeper than it seems like it should go, and then pulls out a map and opens it up. Yes, the Undertow District is the portion of the city that is actually beneath the waves of the Glimmick Ocean, and quite a large city. I'd be surprised if they'd taken the whole thing, but you never know.
Do you know if they have any sort of any policies in place for invasion? They wouldn't by chance pack everyone onto a naval ship or something and try to have them escape the city if it were being taken?
Perhaps. I would imagine, I don't know anything about the protocols myself, but I would imagine that if something like that were in place, they wouldn't put them on something as blatant as a navy ship so that they'd be, scouted out easily. Although, proper show of power, if you did have a whole fleet, could be good.
Maybe just if you had one ship, would you still try it, though?
I don't know, I'd have to ask them.
In your
I know that
brief-
the Navy is more of a bit of a formality. Most of their city's defenses on the water side are handled by their wall-mounted ballistae. So the Navy is more for travel and trade.
In your brief, do you know of any agents working within the city?
I am not... None that I can give the names of.
But there are some planted, yes?
There were.
But they hadn't been heard from. I think that's
Yes.
why they...
It's the whole reason that we're here is to check up on why they haven't been...
We were looking at going into the city through that exact means.
Were you?
We were talking about going in through the underwater part, right?
We were.
Through the Undertow District?
Yes. We had only recently heard a bit about it, but it was kind of our plan to circumvent the...
From here?
Well, not from this exact point, but...
I see. Well, as I stated before, there are ballista mounted on the wall all around the city, mostly fortified on the Glimmick Ocean side of things. Might make an approach by ship dangerous, but that is only if the Silver Stake has overtaken the battlements and is manning them. If they've simply sacked the city and are using it as a stronghold, I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
A thought did occur to me. Aurora, is there anybody in Altanen that you could possibly trust by any means?
Okay, so my sister left that note, and we weren't necessarily the closest, but it seems like she is at least trying to warn me, and I don't really know 100% the status of my brother. We were pretty close, but...
But if your sister's trying to help you in any way, shape, or form, we could send a bird with a response bird folded into it like you did that one time, and ask at least if we could find out how overtaken the city is. That would let us know a better way to get in.
If you
Got a
guys
chance of losing the bird.
I would say if the city has been occupied by an invading force, any messages going in or out are going to be intercepted.
They are flying banners, though. It's not like they're making a...
That's true. From what I've heard in our travels, it seems as though they're painting themselves as heroics coming in to save cities from invasions of monsters and
They tend to do that.
magical beings and the like.
So, speaking of that, what was your plan to enter the city? And I kind of keep staring at Spark.
Disguised as merch.
Spark is standing nearby, occasionally like cooing or making strange nature sounds. Well, our plan is to go in through the Baleen Gate, of course. Even an occupied city's got to have wares.
But specifically, if they're alarmed by the idea of certain people's being in,
Well,
Is
I'll
that a
have to be
concern?
very careful to make sure that they do not know of my ancestry, won't I? I have ways around this myself, as you've probably noticed. But with a cart the size of yours, we could get some of our wares out if you wanted to go in the gate together. Pose as our merchant band. Maybe the more pointy-eared of you could hide within the silks and pelts in the cart. They'll most likely search it, but maybe not closely enough, if we're careful.
I'm game.
Or, if you'd like, we did plan ahead in case we needed to go to the Undertow District. I do happen to have a couple of potions of water breathing on me for sale, if you'd like to purchase them. 340 gold pieces in total for both. That is quite a steal, I might add, as they typically go for about 180 gold pieces each. If you're married to this enter through the ocean idea.
I think the easier we can get in casually, the easier time we'll have walking about. No?
Yes, I think maybe it might be a good idea to try the cart, and at least we'll all be packed in together.
Hard to separate.
If shit goes sour, just know your position on the battlefield, right? Get distance, you. You and I can stay close.
If things go south and combat erupts outside the city walls, myself and Spark will be fleeing.
I figure
That's
it's
a good call.
Spark makes
Will
a
you
little-
take our friend with you if that comes to be the case? And I point at Nori, who's seemingly behind us somewhere.
Aye.
Oh, this is the one we ran over that we were telling you about.
You know how to run?
Well, not out
Yes.
of the way of a cart.
Sounds good enough to me. You'll definitely want to hide that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one we're the most worried about. Yes. If I see a cart coming towards me, I don't even know if I think about it. I'm not in the way of the cart. It's kind of weird.
They're not that fast, really. It's fine. She's a
They're
sweet
loud.
girl.
That's the.
She's sweet.
It didn't sneak up on her for sure.
They can be quite fast. Sometimes.
Yeah.
All right.
I am open to, if any of you have perhaps a better plan. If anyone wants to take a look at the map.
I would like to see the map.
I am known as the contrarian for sure, but I think I like this plan.
As
All right. You've
Hazel
got your
lays out the map
so you
in
shouldn't
front of
have
you.
to hide under any weird.
I find it.
Are there?
You can join us Discord to watch to maps. It's a channel that we have on Discord.
Yeah, map.
If you've joined our Discord.
Places.
Maps and places. So it's a visual medium that you have to open multiple apps for.
Just one app.
Just another app for.
We're working on it.
Well, that's nice. Wow, that's detailed.
Because we'll need a plan once
Hand
we're
drawn by
inside.
myself.
And we're going in
forever.
the Baleen Gate is where we are.
Yes, I was planning by approaching through the Baleen Gate because that gets us pretty central access to the city. But, I don't know where your plans are taking you. If you have a specific place in mind, we were planning to head directly to the Tidepool Forum because, marketplace is typically where you're going to find most of your information, make most of your money. And honestly, I'm a bit less put off now that I know that the stake is involved because, what better rubes to get a couple of coin off of than someone who's sold their soul to who knows what.
We know the vernacular at least. Hello, brother. Hello, sister. All that.
Okay.
We won't find you, yes.
So, I suppose we just all go to the Tadpool Forum and we'll see what it looks like from inside, and there's only so much we can plan from out here.
Of course, as merchants, it would make the most
What
sense for us to set up in the forum as well.
But it seems that once we're in, we're in.
Well, you were trained as a face, I imagine, right?
Many
Similar
faces,
training?
yes.
Right, and I was trained in infiltration, I think in a similar...
You were
I'm just
trained
going to
in
show him the pen.
infiltration?
I'm just like, this, right? Like, I
yes.
felt that I got a bit confused.
He has like a leather bracer
that
that he kind of like folds over. He keeps his on the inside.
Right, thank you.
Tightens the laces.
So with that, we would be fine. We would be meeting up with your contact on the inside right away, and they could be
Oh, we don't have a contact on the inside. The reason that
That's-
we're here is because we
It's to
don't have
make-
contacts.
right. And they would have information about the city and everything that's gone on within.
If
they're
if
alright.
there's anyone there left.
My specific plan
But
is
what's it
to...
not-
It could be.
You seem stressed.
It could be a very empty city as far as citizens go, and very full as far as the Silver State goes.
Could be.
But we don't really have another option other than to get in and find out what we can, and if we have to fight our way out, then that's what we have to do.
But this contact, if they are there, could be, valuable to us. As far as if
I can't iterate enough. We do not have a specific contact within the city.
Right.
We have several contacts that we've not made contact with. Our mission, as it were, is to get into the city, find out exactly what's happened, and then report back.
What
of course.
do you know? What part of the city might have a system of prison or jail, dungeon,
I would imagine they...
somewhere they could lock someone up and do experiments on them? That's kind of their thing.
Oh,
But if anyone's left alive, that's probably where they'll be.
well, I would assume that they would get most of their... Assuming that they're operating on, like the poor and orphans and the like. The biggest batch is probably going to come from the Phonecrest district. But, looking over the map, it seems like the most logical place to hide a laboratory, rather than beneath the city, which would be hard to do at sea level, would be the Coral Spire.
Weren't they experimenting on poor and orphans? Seems like they mostly experimented on people who were strong.
They were making.
Then perhaps a guard barracks.
Not to say that orphans aren't strong.
No, emotionally very strong
So
an
strong.
orphan is.
And physically sometimes.
Sometimes, but
You ever been kicked in the
typically-
shins by an orphan?
Typically underfed.
And then you have to live with the guilt.
Really fast.
Of having deserved being kicked in the shins by an orphan.
Does
Of course.
anybody happen to know what the Coral Spire is?
Yes, the Coral Spire, as the parliament, the government, as it were, of Altanen. It's where the ruling nobles preside.
That could be worth trying to check out. It's right near the gate that we're coming in.
Wouldn't be an easy place to get into if the city weren't occupied.
Were you not trained not to, if you're compromised, to have a drop point for your information? If you feel as though you're compromised, or if you have information, you gather it and you put it in a wall somewhere. So if you are captured or something, you have your information somewhere. It'd be a waste just having your agent gone and all of your information gone.
Yes, of course. But myself and Spark operate on a very specific parameters. You could call us a specialized team.
Right.
I can mimic most voices. Spark can mimic any voice he's heard. And sounds. Grip it and fucking rip it, Spark.
Grip it and rip it, of course.
Always one to
Always.
show off.
Was that Spark making
Yeah.
that sound? The sound of a can opening to a T perfectly.
We're the ones that they call when someone needs to get behind enemy lines into difficult territory, and there's an understanding that our missions may not pan out. I wouldn't say we're expendable, but we're expendable.
Yep.
All right. Let's take
Who's-
the cart. Let's go in, head to the tide pool, forum.
Who's on the front
Right.
of the cart? Who by appearance?
I'm not sure where I stand on this.
I'm also a little unclear. Nobody seemed to mind me on Rovenghoul, but also it turns out they were doing a massive extermination, so maybe there was a reason that nobody minded. You said pointy-eared people should maybe be in some furs in the back of the cart.
It depends. Are you a full elf?
Yeah.
Could be problematic, but I have seen elvish members of the Silver Stake before.
Okay.
I haven't seen
Drowish
any shifters,
members?
so that's give or take. Human, you'll be fine.
Can I just cover my ears? To be extra safe?
My mother's a drow. You should be fine.
Oh, fantastic! We're alright.
Oh, is your mother involved?
Yeah. Well, my whole family, kind of. That father's a real big part of the church, but I think he's actually dead now, if we're being honest.
It's the reason why we're here, for sure.
Your mother's still alive.
Yeah? That I know
Thank the
of.
gods.
Why?
My parents are both dead.
Oh, in the event that she's an orphan.
An orphan, yeah.
We're orphans.
Yeah,
They're orphans.
All of you.
I think so.
You're the only one that's not an orphan.
Hey, we
Boy,
could.
It's not like I
Imagine
didn't
the
try.
guilt.
You have to
Boy,
live
does
with
she
the
wish
guilt.
she was.
I would literally trade them for rocks.
We could. There are some orphans that love it. We could prove. We could prove how much we care about
Self-made
orphans.
orphan. Sorry, what? You got my gears turning.
I think that's patricide.
I think it's
patricide.
it's something like that.
Patricide and matricide, yes.
But what is it
combined.
when you do both?
It's just both.
Parenticide.
God damn it.
Anyway,
I feel like killing someone is a bit gendered when it comes to mother and father.
what if your parent is a
Either way,
genderless? All right, so
Double homicide, I think.
so
you guys are really getting hung up on orphans.
Kitten and Nori
Are you?
in the back of the cart
Yes,
for sure.
For sure.
Should we start decorating?
Absolutely.
A bit. Yeah.
All right, Spark
Yes.
nods.
So did-
Spark nods and does another little whistle and goes over with their bag and begins pulling out just like piles and piles of silks and furs. And you can see as Spark is stacking them very specifically to have kind of hollow centers in certain areas, stacking folded pelts and things so that someone can climb inside and then you can cover the top if necessary.
Okay, I'll climb in.
All right.
I'll get up front. Is this something I should be wearing? Is this fine? I think
Looks fine.
looks a bit like a trader. Fine.
Traveling merchants, you know, gotta arm yourself.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna put on the hat disguise and just make myself a human person.
Human guy.
I just want to be.
Bald, gray skin.
Yeah, you just kind of like round a lot of your features, the ears, the nose, the chin.
Yeah.
Everything kind of just
Yeah.
softens.
Goshenberg, just like over the whole face.
What's your name? Just so we know. I'm going to be a mute, so if you want to all play that, I'm not good for the face. I am more for the brute.
Right. I'm Hazel. That's Spark.
Well, cover name for
Oh.
Softy over here.
Yeah.
Lamb. Wasn't it Lamb?
We're
Yeah.
going to call this man that I'm sitting next to Lamb.
No, she still looks mostly like Aurora.
Yeah.
Oh, you just
Human.
softened. Okay, I thought we just I thought you were just a round man appearing person. Hi, I'm Lamb.
Honestly,
They call me Lamb because
Cute.
I'm soft.
I'm kind of into
It's
it.
cute.
Listen, I mean, this one I think is probably gonna accidentally call me Lamb no matter what.
I was planning on closing my mouth and keeping it closed until otherwise requested.
Right, so us three up here, and you lot in the back.
I mean, probably.
Don't. We have a whole show to get through. Someone's going to open the back. You know, things
Maybe.
are going to happen.
Shall we climb in?
Just to
Come on.
wait. Real quick, maybe shouldn't the ones who shouldn't be doing any talking be in the back not talking?
Well, we're meant to put on a front as though we're carrying a lot of silks and feathers. And
Right.
Maybe you guard the back.
I can do that. Sure.
I'm going to guard the back.
All right, positions, everyone. We've got Silas and Rabbit on the back. We've got
I'm in a pile of silks.
Cholula piled in silks.
Nori
Spark.
is also there.
Yeah, Nori is also in silks, so is Spark.
I'll be in the front, I guess.
All right. Riding next to Hazel, who will drive.
Squat down next to my shadow. I need you to behave yourself. You're going to fuck all of this up if you do anything a little bit out of the ordinary. Can you mimic me? We've been working on this, right? Just silver steak, assholes, right? Can we? No. Just rein it in, right? Save our feelings for later. Thank you. Just for a bit, and then we can. No. Good. How'd it? All right.
I love angsty teenage shadow so much.
I think we're good.
All right.
Have you tried like little snacks for him when he does well?
I don't know what he eats. My happiness is what he eats, and I don't have a lot of that to go around.
You should try.
Come take a bite.
The cart
He
lurches.
looks excited.
The cart lurches as it begins moving forward. Those of you within your padded silken fur coverings are just kind of hearing muffled sounds of what's around you. As you are traveling, could I have everyone except Miranda, please, exit the room for a moment?
Oh my
Oh, damn.
god.
Oh damn.
Which way would you like to go?
Oh damn.
Okay.
I didn't even want to play.
This is nerve-wracking. What are you talking about? I either die or...
Don't go too far. This will be quick.
Okay, yeah. I'll grab it.
As the cart begins moving and you exit the forested area, entering a more open beach space, the black sands of the Obsidian Coast leading you towards this massive kind of coral fortress almost. You hear this kind of staticky, wavering sound in your mind, almost like a whisper. Aurora. There. Yes, hear you. The connection feels weak. Where you? I find you. You ancient. You recall the day before. I think a couple of days ago now, actually, when you found the notes in your parents' cabin within the former Silver State camp before it was abandoned. You remember reaching out to your connection with your twin brother, and you didn't get a response. I will, just for your clarity, I'll send you what I just read.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just black out this text real quick. Okay. But you get a sense that this is a response to that message that you had tried to send. And I will send this to you in Discord, in a little private guy. Everyone else can return to the table. There you go. That little part in gray is what you heard. Also worth noting that last snippet of word was pronounced Ainge.
Just do jumping jacks into the room.
Like I usually do.
Get my affairs back in order.
Your affairs. Get
How
your
was it?
accent back on.
Had a good time?
All right.
No?
As you approach the towering walls of the Sunken City, those of you who aren't buried beneath layers of fur pelts can see the massive coral walls that connect towering bastions that jut towards the sky, hundreds of feet high. The colorful pastel hold stands like a glowing gem against the black sands of the Obsidian Coast. As you approach the Baleen Gate, there is a massive iron portcullis with a smaller retractable gate built in at the base. Seems to be for letting in smaller groups at a time. The main portcullis is currently closed. There are 2 towering bastions on either side that host a series of openings and walkways that are host to archers and crossbowmen keeping watch from above, in addition to a group of around 20 humans and half-elves that stand outside the gate, armed with short swords, spears, and halberds. Some wear the familiar black and silver robes of the Silver Stake, like some of you encountered when you first arrived in Mistinor. I think just these guys now. A number of others, however, wear turquoise and seafoam green dyed leather armor with steel buckles and embellishments in the shapes of various seashells. One of the human guards in mostly seafoam green armor leads 4 others in silver stake robes forward, halting the cart as Hazel pulls it to a stop. He has black hair and tight rows of braids pulled into a bunch at the back of his head, and a scar that runs horizontally across his left eye, which is cloudy white. Hold there. What business have you in Altanen? Hazel looks down. Traveling merchants, here to peddle our wares. The city has been liberated from magical tyranny by the Silver Stake. We'll need to search your cart and confiscate any magical weapons you might have in your possession before being allowed to enter. He motions for 2 of the 4 guards behind him to head around to the back of the cart and begin searching. He and the other 2 that stay with him motion for the rest of you to step down from the cart. Those of you that aren't tucked away. Mm-hmm. Do you comply?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump down and look at Hazel, like in a kind of knowing way.
While I am stepping away, this guy that looks like he's... So there's dudes that look like they're Silver Stake, and there's dudes that look like possibly they were members of the city guard here prior. This guy that's been kind of talking at everybody, does he seem in his own mind? Or like somebody is in charge of him right now?
Make an insight check.
Sometimes you say, like, that is a good idea, and I wonder if it's actually happening, or if you're just like, maybe someday.
Cameron starts
8.
typing furiously.
8, you said?
Yeah. Rolled a 2.
No, he seems fully in control of his own faculties.
Okay.
Can I get a threat check of anyone around? Weapons, intent.
Yeah, make an insight check. All right.
15.
15? Nice. Are you guys letting Hazel do the talking?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't.
Okay.
I simply can't.
In that case, I'll go ahead and let you guys know that Hazel needs to make a DC 16 persuasion check. I don't know where this is looking. Hopefully it's around here. Hazel is a changeling and is also a member of the Harpers, meant to infiltrate places. He does get +8 to this roll.
That's what I get.
So he just needs to roll
And
an 8 or higher.
lucky fingers, lucky fingers, lucky fingers.
Wow.
What's that?
There it is.
What's that? What was
a
it?
4.
Fuck.
Coming around to the back of the cart, the 2 Silver Stake members that are in very clearly black and silver robes with the symbol around their necks step up onto the back, kind of looking over the piles of things, which were double layered. So even as they kind of like pull through and move things aside, you can hear them tussling with the things in your pile, Cholula, Nori's pile as well.
Oh, baby.
If it isn't Nori the Teffin Cat.
If anything goes wrong, could I prepare a minor illusion
Sure,
as like a trigger?
absolutely.
Okay.
The guard kind of eyes Hazel suspiciously. Well, we'll need to be confiscating magical items. Please lay them out. He steps back and like has a hand on his sword at his side. He also looks over and gives a slight whistle and motions. You see about 5 more guards from the 20 standing by join him.
I don't think that I have
Is
any.
there anything in particular you're looking for?
Anything magical that could be used as a weapon. He fixes a monocle up to his eye.
But not just
I prefer if you just took them out. I will find them regardless. Hazel in his mind is like, do any of you begin brandishing your magical items?
Do I have it? Is it +2 quarterstaff magical?
That's a magical weapon, yes.
Oh.
No, we all do. And all very vital things.
And all very clearly magical items that you wear on your person.
Very expensive.
I'm going to have to ask you to surrender your items now. We're going to have a problem here.
Is there... But it was very expensive. Can I have it back if we leave?
If you leave the city, it might be surrendered to you.
But it might not be.
Yes.
But
The city is in a very precarious situation right now. We couldn't have any dissidents entering and throwing off the balance of things. I'm sure you understand.
But what if I promise not to use it?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
How many guards are around? Like total? Who's around?
Within like 10 feet of your cart, there are now there were the 5, and then so there's 10 that are kind of fanning out, not surrounding you, but standing between your cart and the city itself. And then on top of that, there are another. I just said 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are another 20 on the ground right outside of the gates, and a number within the bastions that have crossbows and longbows.
Can I,
What'd you get on persuasion?
6.
Okay.
can I cast Gias on this guy?
Are
And
you trying to be subtle about it?
I just have to issue a command. There are no,
There's no verbal or somatic components?
Just verbal.
just verbal.
Okay.
You place a magical command on a creature that you can see within range, forcing it to carry out the service or refrain from some action or course of activity as you decide. The creature must understand you. There's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, so worth noting, just so that you understand how this spell works.
Yeah.
It does not magically compel him to follow your order.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that if he doesn't follow your order, it hurts him really badly. So, you're basically just asking really nicely, and if he decides to not do that, he's going to be in a lot of pain and know that some shit was up. But, act as you will.
Fine. I want a mind control spell, D&D Beyond. Fuck you.
Dominate person.
That's kind of high up there, yeah.
Fine.
Dominate person's rough.
Oh, they like immediately know.
Can I through the rings? I can hear all of this, I assume.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
Because your hearing is muffled because you are very insulated.
Yeah.
He begins twisting a little kind of loop at the edge of his monocle, looking over all of you.
19.
The umbrella, the
Yeah.
staff.
About that, you said might get it back. This seems a bit more like a robbery than letting some traders into a city. We're merely here to just sell silks and find things at your market. We've been traveling for days.
Yes, and if you would like to enter and have your chance to enter said market and sell your wares, you're going to have to comply with our rules.
Right, but if your rules are to rob us, then what point is it to sell in this place?
This isn't robbery, this is merely protection, good man.
Protection from whom, might I ask?
From you, potentially.
If I might intervene, it seems like what you're touching is a little magical. So are there guidelines, clearances on who gets to have these items and who can't?
The city guard must be armed in order to perform their duties, yes.
So
And
only the
as
city
is within the guidelines of the Silver Stakes enacted orders, weapons are to be silvered so that they might strike down any magical beings that stand in the way of the city's prosper.
Well, that's all -4 too.
we seem to hold the
I
same regard.
understand, but please put your trust in the Silver Stake and the city guard to keep you safe.
But here's the thing.
There's no need
but
for these weapons.
We're not staying here forever, so if we try to leave and then you don't give them back arbitrarily, then we have to go out into the wilderness without them.
Kind of like cleans the monocle and tucks it into his pocket. I'm afraid if you resist any further, I'm going to have to stop being nice. You can either relinquish your weapons and enter the city to sell your wares and make your coin, or you can turn around and leave.
I don't think we should sell.
How does Hazel look?
Hazel is make an insight check.
Well, if you don't want us to sell our wares here, then
12.
that's fine. You're taking away our safety and
I
instilling your own.
A good choice. Do you have any other magical items on you?
I think that's the only. I mean, I have like some potions and stuff.
Yeah, they wouldn't be aware of potions.
Okay, yeah. Anything else?
The
is
bags
like,
of holding, unfortunately, will have to be turned out.
We don't need to
If
be
you
trading.
if you want to keep them on your person.
We don't need to be trading here. We can just travel back to Mossendale.
What'd you get on your insight check?
12.
12. Hazel is sweating.
No, I agree.
I'm gonna, through the rings, say we should leave and come in another way, secretively.
Well, if we're not coming in, I can have that back, right?
I'm sorry about that. We traveled all this way. We didn't know the customs, and we'd rather be safe. It's a wild world
Course,
out there.
I would not doom you to death in the wilds.
Thank you. It's very nice. It cost me a lot of money.
My apologies. I hope you all find prosper in your travels elsewhere.
We hope you find prosper in whatever it is you're doing as well.
Of course. On your way. He steps
Get
back.
on the back.
It's like just as Cholula, you're beginning to see a little bit of light peek through from the guards who are like rifling through the back. The fabric falls back down, and you feel the weight of the cart kind of lift a bit as the two figures exit. Going back to the captain, they all step back. Hazel steps up onto the cart, takes a deep breath, and pulls the cart around as you all begin heading back away from the city.
It's good security measures. It's taking everyone's weapons from them, keeping the power over the people that they want to subjugate, right? It's good.
You know, if they don't have a whole lot of, if mostly there's humans and half-elves here, right?
Most of the guards were that.
Primarily, then probably not a whole lot of fantastic night vision, right? You can't see in the dark, except, you know, now that your friend
Yeah, I mean, yes,
makes that happen.
for sure.
Humans can't see in the dark.
Well, not particularly.
Great.
Have we exited the city?
Yeah.
When we're having
I
this
assume that-
conversation? Okay.
Yeah, there's like a couple of
Hey, sir, Mr. Guard, humans can't see
yeah
in the dark, right?
there's like a small row.
You guys are all blind at night, right? Yeah.
There was a small row of like guard barracks and buildings that you kind of like had to come between to get to the Bailing Gate itself, but you've now cleared those and are headed back towards the more forested area off the beach.
Okay.
Did we get his name?
Guard.
I don't believe he gave it.
If he had something that he could see magical items with.
Possibly
It seemed as
somebody at every gate might.
And
if
they
they're
might
confiscated.
also have things that they could see
Fuck
in the dark
gates.
with.
Let's go underwater.
They might have something.
I know
set
it's
up there
it's
as
bad luck to
well.
open an umbrella inside, but I want to open my umbrella inside that man's ass. It's so bad.
How many? Yes. How
So am I
many?
to take it you'll be needing some potions?
Yes, we will
I've
be
got
needing
one
some
thing.
potions.
One.
How many of their people do you think could occupy the area that's underwater? Or do you think it's empty? Do you think Tritons are still there? Or
That's what they're coming here to find out. I'm guessing.
We don't know anything about what's going on inside the city.
so we want to wait until nightfall and take the way of the water, yes?
I'm thinking.
But there's not much we can do in the city, in the streets, without being very noticeable, as far as the blue woman and myself.
And also, without having any of our equipment, we should.
We do have our silver stake robes we could adorn ourselves with, but once the hoods are pulled down, there's
Yes.
really
there's
no
only
hiding.
so much we can do. How much were those potions?
50.
300 and...
340 gold pieces for,
Could
for
I have
both
a
of
bit
them.
of
That's a package deal.
Increase in my allowance for that.
Yes.
I mean, it's that or I don't have one, which is fine as well.
What's the cost? 380?
340.
340.
What would that put our
Okay.
total?
They're typically 180 each, so it's quite a steep.
Is it?
Does that mean we have 3 spell breathing or water breathing potions for each of you guys?
Yeah, you just bought 2. Cholula has one, and you're undead, so you don't have to breathe.
Yeah.
Nori is a water genasi, so she can already breathe water.
And do you have 2 more of those?
Oh yes, I wasn't going to sell those though.
Oh, great. No, I was making sure
I
you
always need a
also-
backup plan in case some shit like that goes down.
Yes. I didn't know if you were still
You
coming
almost made
with
my
us.
children orphans. I hope you know.
Oh, you have
Do you
children?
have children?
All over the place.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yikes.
I mean,
So,
do you
But
see
you're
them
not.
often?
Are you present?
Yeah, do you see them often?
They know that their father's working.
Yeah,
No, those are orphans. You've made
Those
them
aren't
orphans.
orphans. No, they live with their mothers
No, you're
and fathers.
oh, that are, he's a, he's
Hello.
he's a business dad.
Slut.
Right.
All right.
He's a business dad.
I had to stay
And
at home,
mum.
And bum, yes.
And mother.
Of course.
Yes,
So-
they're either with their mothers or their fathers.
Right.
So,
But how would you know if something happened? You're right.
I check
it's not
in.
important.
Is
What-
it a thing where you like?
This isn't about me.
No, I think it is for now.
What
but-
can
so
we
if you show up to
please?
a certain household, you're like, oh, is this the one where I'm a blonde woman, or am I?
I keep a very detailed ledger. Thank
Oh,
you.
I just wanted to know. I wasn't mad.
so anyway, we are able to get a look at anything
Birthdays, hair
inside,
colors, eye colors.
We weren't able to get anything substantial.
but like people in the street.
A lot of people guarding one single gate.
Yeah, I got upwards of 30 in my count just on that gate.
But
right?
just guards, no civilians, no.
It's
in-
30
not
30 on the
outside.
ground. There were more in the battlements.
Thank you.
Guards and silver stake.
Okay.
We didn't really see civilians.
Is there? Do we know how large the Silver Stake truly is? Is there any chance there's a single gate left unguarded?
We know that they're spread across multiple continents, and I think their only losses suffered have been at the tree and at our hands, it seems.
If
so,
I'd been backed down to one fort in one city with a wall, I would put almost more than half of my resources on the wall, right?
So tonight, we'll try to enter in through the water and see what we can gather as far as information. I don't think there are enough of us to take this city back in a small group
Under
on our
no
own.
circumstances.
There's
But we can learn all that we can, and then I think we should take Miss Noi to the College of Wiltbloom and tell everyone that we know about what's happened to Altanen. We need to gather forces.
We have a couple of cities that we're acquainted with. We could.
So we're not
At
going to
least-
the underwater portion.
We are.
We are.
Okay.
That's the
Yes.
region that we're going through.
To see what other information we can gather without just being stuck at a gate.
I feel
and-
like I suggested this, right? I feel like I
Yes,
said
you
this, I
already.
don't
You're
know.
very smart and wonderful. I'm
No,
sorry we
no, I
ignored
just-
you.
Yes.
We just thought it might be easier to not possibly drown anyone first.
Because we do know that they have guards stationed all along the walls on that side.
Those potions will last you 8 hours. That should be sufficient time to get into the city.
We're sincerely only hoping that the guards that they have stationed up there can't see very well in the dark. And that's
Or
about
into
all
the
we have
water.
going for
If
us.
they have a torch, that's a sign, right? Why would you hold a torch if you can see?
It's a very good point. But they could also just have torches along the walls, and then we don't know who's who.
But the waters could be very dark, and there could.
If I were in charge, I would put half-elves on night watch.
Can't have
And
see in
there's-
the dark.
Yes.
It's a good thing you're not in charge.
There's a possibility that they won't have anyone in the part of the city that's underwater because they can't breathe in there.
That's true. We
So-
could possibly find another way in.
But they may still have someone guarding the area as soon as you get out.
Or
of
we
the
get down
water.
there and there's an entire resistance waiting for us to activate them.
Yes.
Maybe.
God,
That'd be grand.
How
God,
long
I hope
until,
it's that.
How long until
Let's
nightfall?
all okay. Wait. Let's put that in a little jar and take it. Like write it on a piece of paper, put it in a jar,
And we
and
can show
if
it
you
to
were
them.
right,
A message in a bottle.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very
it's like-
fitting.
it's for us to prove afterwards, like Silas guessed it already, that there would be an underground resistance.
No, I want to show
Underwater.
it.
I
wanna show
thought it
to
was
them.
just a fun thematic thing because we're on a beach.
It's both.
It's a bit of both, yeah.
So how far out do you think we need to get from the city on the beach, and then swim through?
If we've got
Noise said that it's about a half mile.
Well, if you take a look at the gate on the map, there are 3 openings that can lead you into the Undertow District. One of them is not very far offshore, probably about a quarter of a mile. But underwater travel, for those of us, I should say, those of you, who aren't accustomed to living in the water, is going to be a bit slower than if you were moving on land. I'd say it would take about twice the time than you would anticipate if you were walking. But the gates on the water side are not. There isn't like a closing feature. It's more just a surrounding wall for protection. But there are openings for the Genasi and the Tritons to come and go as they please. As far as I know, those gates do not have a closing mechanism.
Right.
So we should be able to just swim our way right in.
Do you think it would be smart to go to the first opening, or do you think it would be smarter to go further out and go to the center opening that is in a deeper part of the water?
We've got
Farther
all of
away
the time
from the
that we
wall.
need. If we go down deep enough, they won't be able to see us, even if they do have night vision. And in theory, there's no city that's perfectly kept up, right? On our way there, we might find an entry point that isn't supposed to be there.
Right.
That's true.
Just stay with your hands close to the wall and
Which part of this is the section that's underwater?
The part that is beachside, there's a dotted line across the Undertow District on the left.
So the whole Undertow District.
It's beneath the waves, yes. That large waterfall that you see that's curving around the back there of the city, that's that dotted line. Held in place by magics, of course.
See.
so tonight,
Yes.
which entrance would be closest to your market?
The center. We could go straight through.
Right?
That way, if we don't find anything on the way in, we're in the market.
Of course.
Just some traders with.
I'll put on a different face. So if the guards come by, they don't see the merchants they just sent away in the market the next day.
We can put on our
Also put on a different face.
and our steak robes as well.
We can't change our faces. What should we do?
I can.
Well, I mean, we were just posing as merchants to get into the city, and that's how we will gather information. But if you have other plans, I still don't know exactly what it is that you're doing here, or why you're trying to get in. But whatever
we've
your thing
expressed
is, you can
that.
just go do that. You don't have to sit with us at the market stall if you don't want.
But we've discussed. We're doing the same thing that you're doing.
We're trying to find
Reconnaissance?
information.
Yes.
Trying to find information on the city and
Perfect. Well, perhaps it would be best if we did split up and hit things, gathering information from different angles.
And where do
Right.
we want to meet if we aren't able to emerge at the same time?
Well, we won't be able to go back through the Undertow District.
Because we only have the one
We only have one.
potion.
How long are we planning on staying in the city for recon, though? The spell could be active if we're still in and out within 8 hours.
That's true.
We
If
won't
just
be able
take-
to go very far, but we
if
could get
just
something.
Take a couple hours to.
How long reasonably will it take us to get to the center gate underwater?
I'd have to hitch a ride. I think. I mean, I could swim, but not quite as fast as.
It's about, seems to be, if this map is to scale, and I'm pretty sure it is, seems to be about a mile offshore to the center gate. So, hold on, just doing some mental math.
Do your silly math.
Is that a protractor?
Feel
There's
free
Haiti
to
music
talk amongst yourselves.
happening right now.
We could
Whoa.
I just.
Fucking crushed it, dude.
You know, perhaps, what if our focus. What if perhaps our focus is to find anybody who might still be in the Undertow District?
Anybody that
Anybody
is
there,
not part. If we can find anyone that's not part of the stake,
they would be in the Undertow District most likely.
we can just find someone that we can figure out exactly what happened and how and where everyone else is, then we don't really have to take ourselves that far inside.
Hazel and Spark can work on surface reconnaissance.
And they can get out more easily than we can.
I should think, moving at an average person's rate, it should maybe take us 35 minutes
That's not that far.
traveling underwater.
So we need to make sure that we have at least an hour and a half to get in and out.
That's assuming we don't run into any road bumps along the way. Or sea bumps.
Or sea bumps. Very
So assume that
astute.
we need an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back.
No, that's for both. Just so that we section out a full
Oh.
hour and a half. Because it's only going to take us
Great.
about 35 minutes to get
We
to
hope.
the gate.
But we can adjust for time. We have 8 hours.
And also try not to weigh yourself out too much in case we have to run on foot out of the city.
Right.
Leisurely swim. Okay.
I think that if we get into any sort of physical conflict with the god, it's best to get out.
Yeah, try and just do as much as you can to get away.
If you said there were 30 of them just around that one gate,
It'll be
On the
crawling
ground.
with them in.
Not including whoever was on the wall.
I do think if we end up in a situation in which one might need to talk their way out of a situation, I would hand it to either of these two that either recognize the culture or are just smoother than the two of us who are good at only punching and kicking.
No, I can lie, but I cannot persuade.
I can't do either, so I will be hiding behind my comrades. Alright, if everybody feels confident, I suggest we take a little bit of a breather
Right.
before we engage.
yes.
Alright, you guys taking a long rest, short rest?
How much time do
Yeah,
we
what
have
time is
until?
it now?
Till nightfall.
It is currently. Well, let me ask you this. Have you guys been traveling at night for Aurora's benefit, or have you been traveling by day?
I thought the plan was that we were traveling by day so that I am in cart during day and that nighttime was our.
Perfect.
I assume that was why we didn't see these elephants.
yeah.
Oh, all
I
those
thought we
are...
went to your old, house at night. Like
I
we.
think so.
It was
Yeah,
very,
that
like,
was-
very early morning or something.
Yeah. It was about a day's travel from there.
Yeah.
So I would say at this point it's probably about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
So we could we could spend the day moving the cart off to a far side of the beach that it will travel from, and everybody else can be resting in shifts as we do it.
The cart's magical. Whatever.
But it's not a weapon.
I
But I
know, I
suppose
just-
any vehicle could be a weapon.
If you hit someone hard enough. I just think we
Sorry,
didn't hit her
Nori.
hard enough.
What?
Everything's fine. You're so sweet.
Yeah, just.
Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
We're gonna need you on point when we are
Swimming?
traveling into
Right,
the...
it'll feel good to be back in the water. It's been a long time.
Great. You should be one of the people that takes a rest, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
As much as possible.
that sounds nice.
Do you have a preference over fresh or salt water?
I prefer oceans.
Do you?
Yeah, the reefs are more, there's more to see, more to interact with.
I feel like there's
But
more-
freshwater is nice too.
Yeah.
Not as grating on the gills.
I think we could really do either short or long rest, depending on what each person needs or wants to do. Like,
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
but
We've just
mostly I
been
think
RPing lately.
mostly I think we should spend our focus on getting the cart somewhere that we can get back to.
I think maybe if we. The point in the woods where we found these two again is where we should
Good
meet
spot.
back up. We can leave the cart there. It's far enough away from
Hide it in some bushes.
the gates. We'll just meet back here.
Yeah.
If that's
Do that.
agreeable.
Absolutely. Hopefully the four of us won't be splitting up anywhere.
Right.
So we'll meet back here. Why?
Shit
In
goes
case we
sour.
get separated, this is a place where we all know.
Guaranteed
to wait for
we'll get
everyone else.
separated because you're going to the market
Right.
as soon as you get in. We're
I'll be
re-
upfront with you. If I get into the city, myself and Spark, we're just going to do our job and get out.
Right. So if
Something
somehow
happens and we
that-
get separated, we're going to continue on our mission.
Exactly, and so are we. But once you've completed your mission, it would be nice to know that you've made it out. Because if you don't, then we can inform the
Our
other members
goal
what happened to you.
is to also inform others that there's a problem here. So if we can combine information, since you'll be getting information from inside of the city and we'll be getting information from the Undertow District, combining that gives both of us more information.
Yeah,
If
don't-
you can just give us a name and or location, and if these work, I'll show them the emblem. If these work the same way here as they do in Windfell, then we can deliver whatever message we need to in case something happens to you.
Do you have a Harper symbol as well? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you all got them from Renair, didn't you? Well,
No.
you both got them from Renair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The party was
Nice.
so different once.
Yeah.
We're stationed out of Galadorn,
Died so many times.
Alright.
mid portion of the city. Elven fellow.
They do markings on doors here, is it? Or is it someone waiting at the end of an alley? It's also been a long time since I've been a full up. Feels odd. I feel like I'm behind. I feel retired. I'm still talking.
Well, easiest way for you lot to get the information out, if we should be unsuccessful, would be to use the code. Recommend remembering the phrase. Down with tyranny.
Justice for all.
Perfect.
I could have swore he said injustice for all to start, which is what really threw me off.
I think you just asked if we had taken down any tyrants.
I did. I was
Oh.
trying to be a bit more
A bit
sly.
more- okay, right, yeah.
Hard to
You
work into
said-
conversation sometimes.
Yeah, you were like, did you take out any tyrants, you know?
I can't tell you how many times I sidled up to a fellow and just whispered down with tyranny in his ear, just to get the strangest look you've ever seen.
Right.
I run out of a lot of bars.
I feel like it is a common sentiment because here's the thing that nobody talks about, right? When you have like a vendetta against tyranny or things like it, is that tyrants don't consider themselves to be. So if you said it to a tyrant, right, they'd be like, obviously down with tyrants, down with tyranny.
I think the sentiment is if there's a ruler that isn't allowing you to speak or If it's just kind of a general, it's like a royal tyrant, you know, like.
I understand, like,
Look for
the
some beggars
theory
in
of
Galadorn.
Oh, yeah, beggars.
Look for some beggars in Galadorn.
Mid-
If they answer to the key phrase, tell them Hazel sent you. You need to see Theala.
Theala?
Theala. Theala Eathalana.
We'll go. Wait,
Okay.
is this
Let's
just-
play the spell that please game.
Yeah, Thiala. Theala. The last name is Eathalana. Eathelana.
Is this a elf?
She is elfin, yes.
Theala Eathalana.
Yes.
Got it.
Theala.
Just let anybody into that. It's been a long time since.
Silas,
What?
please.
You know, you have some very anti-elven sentiments yourself. I'm getting nervous, friend.
Are you a racist?
No. I just don't like hoity-toity types.
Good.
So,
know?
if in, let's say, 9 hours, by the end of the water breathing spell, 9 hours from when we take these potions, if you have not arrived back at this point, we will assume the worst and deliver the message for you.
Perfect.
Deal.
No shame in delivering the same message twice.
Right.
And you'll be telling them, you know, if you hear this message again from a group of strangers, then it's fine.
Of course.
Okay. It'd be weird if we showed up like, hey.
No, I wouldn't
That's it.
just leave you high and dry like that. Perhaps we'll meet again in Galadorn if we should get separated.
Yeah.
We've been meaning to go together, Dawn.
It would be.
Just
It'd be a
just
shame.
group of orphans and a man who cares a lot about them.
Yeah. It'd be a shame if you left us all alone in this world.
Right, perhaps I could adopt all of you. That could be fun.
We're
That
grown-ups,
could be
I
fun.
think. I think we're adults.
I think you can still adopt grown-ups.
Can you adopt it? I am short one parent. We'll talk about
The
it.
laws are pretty loose in
Do
Galadorn.
you lay dragon eggs?
No.
That is
Do you
not
know
a
someone
code.
I can only do humanoids. I could become a dragonborn, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they give live birth.
I've never asked.
I believe.
Specifically, I need a parent who can make an egg that I can help raise.
I didn't make it to that birth, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
What happened after the birth? Surely they took care of the child.
Oh, I brought many flowers and chocolates as an
Okay.
apology.
Very good.
Very.
But they didn't mention whether or not it was egg based.
Oh, I mean, it was hatched when I arrived, if it came from an egg. But I just presume it was a live birth because it was a squishy little baby.
Sometimes things that come out of eggs are squishy.
That's true.
Like,
It was a pretty quick
Chicken?
turnaround, though. I only
Baby
missed the birth
chicken?
by like maybe 3 days.
I think, what are those? Owlbears? They're pretty squishy, and I think they come from eggs.
Do they?
I think so, right? They're a big part owl.
I've only
But do they
read
have
of
nests or
owl-
do they have dens?
They have nests.
I think they have both. There's like a nest in a den.
It's a nest in.
I've heard there's a cave where hundreds of owlbears sleep together and hibernate.
Has anyone ever gotten that on film?
What are you talking about?
What was that?
Has anyone ever gotten,
Has anyone ever gotten it on film?
you know,
Like
the
the
bears?
wilds of Mistinol. Why did that feel so good to say? I think maybe we've gotten off topic. I'm going.
I'll explain it at the break.
Thank
I'm-
you.
Let's just say my first name's involved. Weird. I'm going to go talk to a shadow.
I wish you luck. Is there anything that your friends here, us being, couldn't do to help?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get better, like a better rapport.
Do you want maybe
One time I peed and the sun was behind me and it looked like I was peeing on him.
that maybe didn't help your case?
He could have moved.
I could. Does he have like? What does it like?
As you're talking, the shadow is like shifting to the side as if to express to each of you that he could move
Yeah.
out of the way if he wanted to.
But he preferred to get peed on. Is that what he's saying?
He hasn't said anything.
He usually doesn't. But yeah, I'm gonna go work on that if I could.
Yeah, go ahead and make your roll. As everyone's getting rested up, if anybody's taking a rest, you can, or if anybody has any downtime activities you would like to take care of. You got any rolling tables you're working on to pump some stuff up?
One. I'm just gonna try it.
Yeah, it's an athletics check, right?
Yeah.
Working on your strength.
Hi.
Hello.
Now that I'm a little bit closer into the city, can I try to reach out to my brother again?
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Hey, got that last one a little bit delayed. Are you okay? Are you safe?
Can everybody leave one more time?
Fuck!
Okay, but when
I
I
can
get
just
back,
cover my ears.
don't let me forget what I'm
Okay.
doing.
What was
Yeah.
it?
Athletics check.
I made some.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, I was gonna try to climb a tree to do this, so I could add my glove strength. To
Oh, that's a good idea.
Fucking sick, dude.
I'll describe mine later. Love you guys.
Aurora? I can hear you better now. Where are you?
I need to know that you're okay first. And I need to know that you're safe. And I need to know that you're not gonna just pass this information along to Mom.
I would never tell her anything. I'm safe. You're the one who's in danger.
How am I in danger?
You need to stay away from the family. I don't know why. Something shifted. You can't trust Ada, and you can't trust Argilus. You can feel that kind of whispering, clicking, returning, like a couple of the words being cut off. And then it goes silent. Everyone can return. Well, maybe they shouldn't have. Or we can take this opportunity while everyone's doing their downtime activities to go ahead and take a quick break. But before we do, we have a giveaway. Our first giveaway of the evening, one of two, to enter for your chance to win this beautiful set of... To enter for your chance to win this beautiful set of pre-painted mystery minis. I say beautiful, I assume. We haven't seen them.
I bet.
Go ahead
Pictures.
and type the word infiltrate in the chat. Infiltrate. That is INFILTRATE, or you can just look at the little message that Moobot sent up and copy it.
It's a displacer beast with butterfly wings.
That's pretty cute. Enter infiltrate in the chat for your chance to win. You must be a follower to be eligible to win, and you cannot live in Quebec because they have rules against giveaways and things like that. But otherwise, the only thing you need to qualify is to follow our channel here on Twitch. It's free. And you get us one step closer to that sweet, sweet, sexy monster stream. And I know you're gonna want to see it. If you want to see some disgusting monsters, I do a lot of them personally over on youtube.com/fablefire. Where I do D&D monsters fused with Pokemon. You can check those out to kind of see what my style is like. Sam did all of our character art here on the stream, so you can see what her style is kind of like. Kitty has a degree in drawing and painting from a real college.
So you can pay for what her style is like.
Yeah. Taylor does all of our graphic design for the show, and also he knows how to draw really well, but he won't admit it.
It's fine. They all just.
I'm
look
just
like,
a hobo.
It's just George Jetson.
Miranda's also great. Miranda, where can people see your work? Is it on Instagram?
Yeah, some of it's on Instagram. Hey, if I'm not gonna post my Tumblr, y'all don't get that. But like, yeah,
That's some Discord info.
secrets. But yeah, I have a bunch of my stuff up on Instagram. A bunch will be coming soon.
Is that at Claymore Alliance?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It's like my handle everywhere except for Twitter. Drop the last E. They won't let me be great. It's anti-black. Call them out on it. But yeah.
Famously.
So, yeah, if you need any more reason to want to be pumped about that stream and get us 200 followers here on Twitch, check out all that stuff and prove it to yourself. We've already proven it to you. So enter the word infiltrate into the chat. We'll be right back in 20 minutes to continue the stream and announce the winner and tell you how to enter to win the Fablefire dice. Don't go away. Welcome back, everyone. Before we hop back into the game, we have a giveaway to announce. The winner of this wonderful set of pre-painted mystery minis.
It's not backwards in real life.
Oh, it's not.
Submerged in Stories! Congratulations, Submerged in Stories. As always, our prizes go out at the end of the month, which is quickly approaching. So these will probably be making their way towards you very soon.
Let us know if you want us to open it.
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
Open it on stream.
Yeah, we'll have another Miranda unboxing.
Let's do it. Did you hand that to the beautiful Miranda?
Oh, no. There
Now!
That's a good sound.
Thanks. I want to start an emo van, and I want to do the grouse. Yeah.
That's it? You sit in a chair? I've always wanted to see that.
Yeah.
Like a full-on stage-heavy band, and then one person's in a chair.
Yeah, just like in a little lazy season.
Yeah.
We went to a house show once, and some dude was the screamer for the band, and he screamed so hard he puked, and then he had to go sit down.
I want that.
I think about it a lot.
That means you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Well, it was great to watch.
To enter for your chance to win.
I want to hear that. You know? I don't want to see it, but I want to hear it.
You could hear it for a while,
To enter for your chance to win this beautiful set of Fable Fire Swirls of Pearl dice, go ahead and type the word depths in the chat. That's
Depths.
DEPTHS depths.
You chose a hard word to spell.
Johnny Depp.
Did I?
Depth.
Depp.
Well, it's spelled there for you in chat, so you can just copy and paste it as far as
Just
I
say
know.
to yourself, Depth, and you'll know.
Depths. To enter for your chance to win, again, you must be a follower to be eligible to win, and so on and so forth.
Stay around. Stay off your
Whoop.
Oop.
Sorry, I just
Oop.
Deleted everything.
it's all gone. I deleted the channel, guys. Shit.
They should make that harder to get to.
Yeah.
Right? One click and you're there. We return as you continue your downtime activities leading up to your infiltration of Altanen. So, Cholula, you were about to make an athletics check as you use your gloves of climbing and swimming to help assist you in climbing a tree to help with your strength, so you can add your +5 bonus from the gloves to this roll. This is your last roll. If you get this, your strength ability score, goes up
What do you need to
by
roll?
1 point.
The DC is 20. I have a +0, but I have +5 with these gloves.
Got to roll a 15 or higher.
It's a 3.
Oh, that's not 15.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. As Cholula struggles with trees, rather finding that the gloves aren't really... The gloves are almost assisting too much. And it's becoming less strength-based, climbing around.
They're gripping, and I'm trying to move up, but my hand's stuck down here still, really gripping the tree.
Yeah, getting used to it is a challenge.
Weird.
Silas, you were working
Magic
on...
getting stuck in a tree.
You were working on your shadow.
Yeah,
and kind of getting a bit of a repertoire.
Yeah, I was,
Turn around to
I
come back to
had to roll a 14, and I rolled exactly that. But I'm just playing catch with my son on the beach. He can throw it back now. That's kind of the development.
Nice.
Yeah, just throwing a rock. Just ooh, that he's throwing. 'Cause he's a shadow.
Very weak throws.
Yeah. Oh, you'll get it next time.
Wonderful. How many do you have left on that?
5.
Nice.
I have to roll a nat 20 by the end of it, because I don't have... You said, use your persuasion bonus. I have a +0 to persuasion. I should probably have boosted persuasion before I started this.
Halfway there. Rabbit, were you working on anything?
I just want to review this map, really. I want it to be so that I essentially have it memorized by the time we're in the city.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Why do you laugh?
I couldn't tell for like a whole sentence if that was Sam or if that was Rabbit trying to ascertain the information of a map.
What is this? What do your shapes conceal?
This will be investigation if that makes a difference.
Great. 15?
15 is enough. I would say you get pretty familiarized with the layout of the city. It is very complicated, but you get familiar with the different districts and their positioning, so much so that you could probably be a reliable reference if anyone has questions and you get separated from Hazel and Spark.
Okay.
Go along.
While you're looking over it, Hazel comes up alongside you and is kind of like looking over your shoulder. He waits probably like a good 30 minutes to an hour before he's like, you know, I could sell that to you. 5 gold.
I don't. Hang on.
So
No, I have 5 gold. Sure.
it's yours.
Thanks.
Sell your soul.
Why is this the way that? Do I really have a lot of money?
You guys have a decent amount of money.
I never have. I never have.
You did.
Yeah.
You have spent a lot of it.
No, me personally, Rabbit never has.
Ah, I see.
Me and Captain Cholula are big banks in this campaign now.
Babies.
Broke. Working on it.
The big bank babies.
So as your, we can call it a short rest, I guess, comes to an end, as the sun begins to set over the ocean on this side. It's beautiful, the way that it kind of almost perfectly frames the city of Altanen setting behind it, only spoiled by the flapping of those silver stake banners in the wind. And then night falls.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm going
Ready
to...
as we can be.
Right. Does anyone have a bag of holding I can put a shirt or something in?
Yes.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in dry clothing regardless of what the situation is when we surface.
Oh, I didn't think of that at all.
We could do this naked.
What?
Oh, we weren't doing it naked.
I'm gonna do it naked.
I'm leaving the pants on.
I
Leaving the pants on.
I've got a change of clothes in multiple sizes in my bag. So I could just give some of you some of those when we arrive if you don't have your own means of transporting dry clothes
I'm just-
underwater.
Pants, no shirt, no shoes.
I'm just gonna take everything off but like my under stuff. Because I have like those little shorts and like a
Band.
something.
Sure.
But yeah, I'll take my little sleeveys off and my stupid skirt thing.
Okay.
Okay. I'll drop the cape, but there's no way in hell fish are touching anywhere else. So,
Yeah, we'll see.
cape in the
DC
bag.
17.
I'll also put boots in the bag.
Oh, good call. Those are expensive.
I would like to ask,
Yeah.
as a DM, do I have a swim cap for my hair? I feel like legally,
I
it's
think-
anti-black
I think-
if you say I don't.
I think Aurora would definitely carry that.
It's not in D&D Beyond. It's not like something I can like predict that.
And maybe we should talk about that. There's a lack of
There's a lack
diversity.
of fucking diversity. Okay, sick.
The traveler's pack. I mean, come on, guys.
Why is there not a shower cap and a bonnet in there?
Have you noticed that none of these packs include cocoa butter?
Not a damn one.
Not once.
We'll say that you have some kind of like leather strips of like lambskin, like would be used for water skin, that you can tightly wrap
Okay,
to
cool.
become watertight. For
Right.
sure.
And you don't have a bag of holding, right? Or do you? No. Do you want to?
Oh yeah, I'll shove my clothes in there. What else do I have? Anything important? Can I put this ear? I'm doing it.
Of all your things that you need to keep dry, the ear?
Hey,
It's
real,
gonna get real
Yeah.
stinky if it gets wet.
real quick. Let's not rehydrate the. let's leave that salted if we can.
All right, so we got one ear in the bag. We got
You're close.
probably what happens to the alchemy jug if it goes underwater?
I guess it just fills, but I mean, I don't think it magically fills in the way that.
No, it would just be full of water.
No,
You
so I
dump
can just
out.
Can you
empty it
say
out.
empty into it? Does it empty?
I'd rather because once I say something
You say
into the jug, it's
No.
dropped.
Empty.
Get the fuck out of here.
And that's how you deleted the ocean.
If you do that, it just shoots out whatever's in it.
Filled with ocean.
No, I think just my clothes and that ear. I think that's all I need.
Wonderful.
That's all I need.
You all get your things in order and begin the trek on foot, I presume, towards the ocean away from the city.
Is she in your dice tray?
Yeah,
Like
just her
halfway.
little front feet.
All
Cute.
the time. She likes to just.
Her puts.
She's like, you have an hour until you have to feed me. I will break things.
Could I have everyone make a
Leave the
stealth
devil
check?
chef in mind.
Stealth check.
Yes, please.
Baby.
Got
Baby
to
cat.
move small.
That is cocked.
What is that, baby?
Okay.
Lift your tavern cat to see what your dice landed on.
That's part of it.
22 for
22.
30, 20. Hey, is anybody else's
6.
initiative
6.
tracker thing tiny?
No. Refresh your page.
Nope.
It's little.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy.
Oh, see?
back to
The
normal.
funny fact, it was little and also the plus was behind your 4. I was
Yeah,
right.
things went weird.
They heard you talking shit.
I will talk more.
She will.
Did I tell you what I rolled?
30, 20, right?
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a 6.
And a 6.
Well, don't say it like that.
So, just so you guys know, this will be kind of like a 2-part situation. That was your stealth check for land to not be seen by
Just
the
scuttling
land
into
side
the water.
guards. If anybody wants to keep an eye out, you can also make a perception check. If not,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Can I see what like the watch is like as far as torches and movement?
yeah, absolutely.
That's a 14 perception.
22.
Oh my.
22,
Another 15.
8.
8,
To
5.
pers-
5. Nice. 22. What did you get, Tallulah?
14 perception.
14. Okay. Silas, you notice that each of the battlements, rather, each of the. Oh God, the word it's left me. Hang on, it's in here somewhere.
Fuck yeah.
So
Fuck yeah, dude.
Is that it?
was that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Deep
The word I was looking for was a burp. Bastions. Each of the bastions
Fucking
along the wall,
bastions.
notated on the map by the little pointy guys coming out from the surrounding wall. Each of those bastions has a bright, almost white tinted flame burning atop it as you continue past. And it's pretty well illuminating, but it seems like it does more to illuminate the city from a distance than it does to illuminate around the city for sight.
More like a lighthouse than a lookout.
Correct.
Okay.
That being said, you do see patrols of guards, about 5 or 6 strong, maybe every 20 or so feet atop the battlements. They're pretty hard to make out because the walls are very tall. They're about 100 feet high in this area.
Okay.
I'm not. Pretty hard to make out. Just 5 guys just making out.
Oh,
Oh.
Because there's 5 of them.
Two dudes
It's an
sitting
odd
on
number.
Gotcha.
hot tub,
Yeah.
5 feet apart. 'cause
that
they're
one
not
was a
gay,
stretch.
you know?
What? I was going to just sit here silently and have a nice little laugh. 5 dudes.
Excuse me, mister. Do you see that 6 and 9?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was asking her.
However, based on your group
Talking to
stealth
my
check,
wife.
none of them seem to make eyes on you. Also on that perception, you notice that each wall that you pass by, which you only pass by 2 heading to the northern side, correct, of the city?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just kind of assumed that you guys were going ocean and
Yes.
then down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you see the familiar heavy armament and guard of the Baleen Gate in a distance. You can also see a well-lit and similar faction outside of the Course Gate in the north as you pass over the pathway and eventually come to the gently lapping waves upon the Obsidian shore.
Okay.
Passions if you've got them.
Can we see anything in the water?
Make another perception.
Any butt fish,
Any buttfish around here?
Or mouthfish.
What is that?
teeth
baby?
fish?
Are they the same fish? I hope they are. Oh boy.
Oh, they got a big
25.
smile and a juicy rumpus.
What am I
25.
Yes.
It's hard to tell. You've been on a beach at nighttime in real life.
Yeah.
It's hard to see. You do have dark vision, which gives you kind of like a grayscale look at everything. You see some small movement under the waves, a couple of crabs skittering across the sand, but no large forms or anything that looks like it's hunting
Okay.
in the shallows.
Seems safe.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and potion it up.
All right.
I feel any different? Do I get gills?
You don't get gills, and you don't particularly feel any different. You can still breathe air just fine.
I'm gonna shove my head under the water, just oh.
Wow, that's a bold way to go. You know, I wonder if these work.
Wait, no. Fish poop.
Rabbit, you stick your face into the waves
Yeah.
after drinking your potion. Take a deep breath. Your body like instinctively tenses because your brain knows that you shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, the water fills your lungs and refreshes you just like air would. There is a salty taste to it because it is
Figures.
salt water.
Might I presume that if I were to talk under here, it would come out as
You want to try it out?
yeah, I'm going to, without moving my head, I'm just going to say, I think these work. I think everything is going to be
So
fine.
do we just see Rabbit just go? And then no bubbles?
Yeah. And Rabbit, yeah, it is muffled and hard to hear your voice.
All right, I pull my head up.
It's a good thing we have a rabbit around to just dive in, quite literally.
No, it works great.
As Rabbit says, no, it works great. It's in the water that was inhaled.
That was going to be my next question: is if your lungs filled with air, like with water, do you then have to?
Expel it when
Fucking-
you're in air.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't buy the potions to get rid of the water in our bodies.
No, it's natural. It's as natural as breathing out. It's just liquid.
Yeah, it's like when you normally
There's some
talk after
kale.
taking a sad bath.
Stuck in my teeth, I think.
We're out of time now. We should get going.
Oh,
Right.
I'll just wade out.
Yeah, you all wade out into the
Your
waves. You all
pants
have
do
a
that thing.
You all have a similar strange experience of like, you can get pretty far out before you reach the area, the shelf where the sandbar drops off. When you get to that point and step into ocean, and your heads go beneath the waves, those of you with dark vision, it's probably a much more comfortable scenario. Silas, this is probably a little bit of a nightmare. My nightmare for you, at least.
Nori
as
was
you,
gonna be like helping you though, right?
Oh, I can see. I have devil's sight. I can.
Oh, that's right. You do have dark vision.
Yeah, I
That
can
is
see.
correct.
I don't think there's any of us who don't at
Yeah.
this time.
Perfect.
Mine is superior.
Either way,
That's weird.
you guys know.
Why?
He did like a hand motion.
Why would you?
No.
I just said it was weird. I didn't want to talk about it.
Anyway, moving on. You know those like underwater trail cam kind of things of like there's like the one in particular when they caught a giant squid on camera for the first time.
Yeah.
That is a nightmare.
Yeah, where it's like grayscale and then like occasionally a fish passes into the IR
Yeah.
area.
Wouldn't it be something if this were just like one particular friend's worst nightmare?
With
and
dark-
we're-
I think it's both of yours.
Yeah, I hate this as much as everyone. I'm sorry, but I have to describe it accurately. So It's
I'm okay with it.
It's basically like living that. You're hearing underwater as you would normally. So just kind of like hearing the currents of the water. And there, again, that strange sensation of being able to breathe, but it's like thick and tastes like salt. Coupled with the fact that it is
Fish goes in.
the dead of night, even with dark vision, you've got about a 60-foot radius around each of you, and then at the edge of that is just blackness. And occasionally a fish swims in and then out.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, Cameron. You've described.
Hey,
my
you guys chose
ability-
to do this at nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of those
Smartest way
broad
to do
daylight infiltrations don't really go well.
Could I have everybody make another stealth check, please?
You've betrayed me already, and so did your father.
Any
so-
benefits anybody
Your
wants to add
father's
to
a
this?
bigger
You are more
one.
than
Can
welcome.
I spread
Don't
my
ever talk to me about my son
out
ever
a
again.
little bit?
Yeah, so
As
Silas.
I imagine the shadow just hitting the floor of the ocean. Like-
Yeah, and then realizing that it's complete darkness and just like spreading out to the entire ocean.
Oh, we got past with that?
You get past without a trace from Silas.
Oh, sick.
That puts
Great.
me at 37.
Nice.
It's plus 10 for
Yeah.
us.
it's a number.
Okay, 31.
Nice.
Nice.
20.
34.
34.
One day.
One of these-
One day. I'm inching up on you.
Nice.
For
20.
our podcast, you're gonna do a rogue with all of Kitty's
Yeah.
feats, and you'll be like, "Now, how does it feel? How does it feel to be
And
feet?"
lucky.
29
Oh
for
my.
Nori.
She's stealthing.
22 for Hazel.
Gorgeous.
And we'll use these ones for Spark.
Did Hazel take the form of a Triton or?
Yes.
Okay.
But it does not. Hazel also took a potion.
Yeah.
Doesn't allow him to breathe.
Oh. Oh, okay.
What about Spark? Because he was like ducking up on the top of the water.
23 for Spark. Spark also had a potion. Hazel had 2. He had 4 potions total. He only sold you 2 because he knew that if things went south or if he needed to get into the Undertow
Right.
District, he still needed 2 of those potions for him and Spark. So, did I say a number for Spark? 22? Yes.
That
Okay.
feels good.
4, 7 of you total.
Wow.
Not bad. Yeah, there's the 4 of you, Nori, Hazel, and Spark.
I imagine if you had like a shadow, like if you're swimming and there's shadows like here and down, it just wraps around you. Like it doesn't get any darker around
then
us.
we're
It just
kind of
gets
like-
dark upon.
We're like killer
Your clothing.
whales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like killer whales.
Okay. It's fine. We're back. We're back
Also
to
a
the
nightmare.
A porpoise.
No, I just have to think about Gang Orca, and we can get through this.
Think about
He's got-
kissing gang orca.
You
Or
all
Ape Sapien.
continue through the water. Hazel's description was accurate. It does about half all of your speed except for Cholula because of your gloves, and Nori, who is accustomed to the waters. But everyone else is swimming at about half the speed that they could normally move. I imagine Nori and Cholula are probably hanging back with everybody for emotional support.
Yeah.
As you all make your way quietly through the dark waters, you don't see the beautiful colors of coral or reefs. You don't see a lot of anything, really. Occasional fish pass into your vision.
Okay, we get it. We'll do an infiltration at night or in the daytime. Screw it.
No, I'm just saying.
We get it. It sucks. Black and white coral suck.
No, it sounds like it's cool and spooky down here.
Yeah,
It's
it
bad.
is.
Yeah, it's a bad.
It is dark
I
and it is quiet.
love a night ocean.
Everybody make a perception check, please.
Oh no. You wouldn't put your own nightmare in here.
That's no 20, baby.
That's a hubbub. Can I get a 12,
Nice.
please?
14.
Nice.
I have a plus 10 to my perception check.
God.
Sick.
Dirty 20.
Fuck yeah. Cholula and Rabbit. The two of you at the edge of your vision, kind of on the further right portion of the group. Eventually you've all made your way to the wall itself that extends down and is built upon the sands. The waves lapping up against it just like they would the cliffs down the way. And as you all are swimming through, the two of you see a larger shape that's dark at the edge of your vision. Just passes inside of it and then out. On a natural 20, Cholula, you recognize this to be some kind of either maybe a shark or some kind of dolphin or larger porpoise of some kind. Doesn't seem to take notice of you all. Continues out of your line of vision. Moments later, the two of you hear rippling through the water a sound like something splashed. And as you continue on your way, there's a little bit of cloudiness outside of just the shadow clinging to all of you that drips into view. And as you continue on, still relatively shallow here, passing into the edge of your vision on a natural 20, Cholula, you see what was a shark with a large sort of harpoon on a much bigger scale, fully piercing it, floating towards the top of the water, kind of floating up. And you remember those wall-mounted ballista that Hazel told you about. And it seems like the watchers on the wall are keeping eyes out for any movement in the water and firing indiscriminately. However, you are all well hidden, and you meet the first gate. Do you want to continue on, or do you want to try and enter through this first gate? It is unguarded under the water. You would imagine there's probably guards up top, but you can't see them from your position. I would say after seeing that, you probably all like collectively went down until you got to sand, which is more comforting because with a ground in view, that's at least one area that something can't come from.
You're projecting now.
No.
I think we're on the same page.
Insulting a friend.
No, I have the same
felt
thalassophobia
good the
for
whole
sure.
time.
It's bad.
Y'all should stick your little toesies into the ocean and
I did.
I can't swim in a pool at night. Like,
be at peace with what's in the water.
It's not that. It's that I can't.
Get away.
What if I change my mind and I'm like, oh God, I want to live and I can't run?
yeah, you can't get away.
What if I change my mind?
Through the rings, I'm gonna say
Oh, clever.
Ballista's active into here. Trying to keep our words
Yes.
as much as I can.
You all hear it clearly in your minds.
Through the ring, I will respond. Confirm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and everyone in your party, I believe. I don't think Genasi. Hang on, do Genasi have dark vision? I feel like water Genasi should.
Right?
I need to look this up.
You're the
Was-
DM.
Wasn't it like Tabaxi?
I am.
Don't,
I
but
like
cats do?
Tabaxi don't, but cats do. Also, cats
Yeah.
in
Druid
the
cat.
cats
Yeah.
don't have it.
Yeah,
Druid
which
cat.
I
But they
disagree
do.
with.
I think they should. All animals outside of a few random ones that can't really even see during the day can see at night. Their eyes are different. All animals have dark vision.
Yeah, I don't know, like Tabaxi don't have it, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they don't.
Tabaxi and cats don't have dark vision. That's a foolish.
Weird.
It's like,
Water
I'm sure I'm
Genasi
gonna
do,
be a
however.
mole.
Oh, nice.
Hurrah! I will not complain yet.
So all of you can see each other. So
Okay, so I'll kind of motion to the people that don't have rings.
yeah,
Also, they'll see us all start to.
Yeah.
yeah, they are staying close. Hazel seems just as uncomfortable. Spark seems fine. Again, it's hard to read emotion on a face
Spark
with a
is
beak.
bird, yes.
But the eyes are calm.
Oh, I'm Spark, I'm Bird. Yes.
Spark a bird.
What's happening?
We haven't seen each other in a minute.
It's been a few days.
As you swim through the barnacle-encrusted opening, you make your way into a very strange sight that is, for all intents and purposes, a city, but fully beneath the waves. There are different types of algae and that grow on the buildings down here. There's also several bits of coral as you swim that you can see. You can't see the color, but you can see in place of where there would normally be maybe like trees as part of decor for like a little park area, there are instead kind of like clumps of corals of different kinds and anemones that just kind of flow in the waves. Everybody make one more perception check for me.
Do I see any evidence of the ballistae being used in the walls?
Perception check. You also notice that the buildings down here, at first glance, appear like just like buildings would be on the surface. However, the difference that you notice is that a lot of the things that you presume to be windows are actually doors. Because you're in the water, you can have openings pretty much wherever.
Yeah.
So the different floors of buildings have openings wherever they see fit.
Like coral.
Yeah, a couple of them seem to reach past the surface of the water and jut out a bit, but you can't see past the surface yourselves. Perception, everybody.
18.
15.
Nice, nice.
4.
Not as nice.
I used the luck point and I got a nat 1.
Oh, that's sad.
You used it
I think it's pretty sexy of me to do that.
I agree.
We failed so that they could be the stars.
I think how many people could roll twice and do bad?
Like in a row consecutively. We have a superpower that is untapped.
This one rolled, what was it?
It was 2 ones last time.
2 ones at the same
Yeah.
time. So,
You can see that clip on our social media.
yeah.
The two of you do notice several of these buildings closer to the surface of the water do have similar harpoons to what you found in the shark jutting from the buildings. And you can see from how far they are buried into the kind of stone and coral structures themselves that there's some power behind those things. Silas, you said 18? You notice within a few of them bodies that are pinned that appear to be tritons, a couple of water genasi as well, that seem not old, but they've definitely been there for a couple of days at least. Things are starting to kind of lift and flake.
I'm just breathing that.
Yeah. But they're not just like bones.
Right.
You all continue on, making your way a good distance, probably a couple of blocks, into the district. Let's see, you entered from the northern gate. So, looking at the map, do you guys want to head in towards the kind of like deeper section? Like, do you want to hang a right when you entered? Or are you trying to get to the land portion?
Our plan when we were talking on land and we had as many words as we want was to try and search through this district for like a resistance.
And or any survivors.
Okay, so you want to make your way a little bit deeper into the Undertow District?
Yeah, I think we're just trying to be inside the wall in case buildings can.
As we're going, can I note whether or not there are fewer and fewer ballista as though it's getting out of range?
It's definitely concentrated
Near the
wall.
Okay.
Probably within like a 200. Oh, actually, hang on, let me check. I can tell you exactly the distance that it's within.
Because that's what I would imagine a resistance would be, is not near fire from a ballista every day.
Or do you get really close to it so that it
Yeah,
doesn't
about-
They can't point
see
out.
you there?
The furthest point from the wall that you see one of the harpoons that's actually like stuck into something, and it is more shallow than the ones when you entered, is about 300 feet out.
Okay.
From the wall?
Yes.
Okay. Where are we about now using the letters as guidance?
Making your way to the south, you're probably just getting to inside of the U of Undertow.
Okay.
Okay, and that's about 300 feet roundabout?
No, 300 feet would be about halfway distance between that point and the wall.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a really big city.
Yeah.
This is like on par with Waterdeep.
You said it was like a
Scale.
half mile from shore to wall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, continuing south.
In my mental map.
You guys can make investigation checks
Yeah.
if you're looking for survivors or signs of resistance or anything of that nature.
That's somehow not.
That's
as
a
great of
6.
roll.
What are we
Really
rolling?
playing. Investigation.
Investigation.
Uh,
Wow.
14.
9.
So,
14.
Plan.
10.
Plan.
All right.
I can use the Medallion of Thoughts to scan, in essence.
I think we've done this before. You have to be able to see them.
or know that they're there.
I think it's like a creature you can see. I could be
No,
mistaken.
she didn't have to see Hazel.
Yeah, you saw Hazel before you used it.
Yeah, we like snuck up on their camp,
Mm-hmm.
and then she checked Hazel's.
Because when you were on Rolling Bull, you
you
tried to do
can-
something similar.
Also use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. When you cast a spell or as your action during the duration, you can search for thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spell can penetrate barriers, but 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal or lead, or a thin sheet of lead blocks you. You can't detect a creature with an intelligence of 3 or lower, or one that doesn't speak any languages.
Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You get the sense that it probably wouldn't be great for any creatures inside of one of these buildings because there's no telling how thick the stone is. But if there's anyone
Within 30 feet.
within 30 feet of you,
Or any broken windows.
that lasts for 10 minutes.
Up to 1 minute.
Up to 1 minute. Okay, so for up to 1 minute, you've got that kind of flaring out feeling for any foreign minds. You can feel all of your friends. However, it doesn't. You aren't like bombarded with their information.
Don't worry, we don't think that much.
I peed right before I got in. I have to pee.
Please don't be alone.
Pee a little bit. There's bodies in here. It's fine if you pee.
Is that rabbit?
I'm a different being.
Continuing to swim
I see you when you sleep.
through the city.
I know when you pee.
It's feels very empty. Can I get you guys to make one more perception check for me?
I'm
What
scared.
number do you want? I'll just do that. You
There's
just tell me what number you want me to roll.
Wow.
Not seeing.
Really? Again?
I can only
14.
roll
30, 20.
13
plus 7.
Nice.
11.
11.
Perception?
Yes.
12.
12. Nice. Silas. You see, you're kind of like keeping eyes out, and in front of you, kind of ducking between an alleyway between buildings, you see 4 shapes that just kind of swim by.
I'm gonna go into the rings, contact on me, and I'm gonna swim towards them.
All right. You begin swimming forward. Everyone follows. Aurora, you catch 4 blips.
Okay. Once you detect the presence of a creature in this way, you can read its thoughts for the rest of the duration. Okay, as basically once I find them, it works as normal. All right, cool. Does it have a limit on how many times I can jump between person?
Or is it just duration?
This is just detect thoughts, right, from an item?
Yes.
It is a very long
Yeah,
spell.
I'm just
Yeah.
trying to.
I think
I'm
I
a
have
slow
the
reader.
potion of it over here.
It's beefy.
Or I did. Maybe it was the other campaign. But it was
Okay, so as far as it seems, no limit on how many times I can jump, as long as I don't go into that deeper level. So can I get like a surface level scan of the gang?
Yeah, I'll say roll a d4,
Sick.
and I'll plug in my laptop so it doesn't die.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to do that. Roll a d4,
Yeah.
and this will essentially pick one of them for you to listen to.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Meow, meow.
number 1.
Yunya.
Shadows underwater.
Player 1.
Number 1. Crunchy donuts.
I was going for more of a kids next door kind of vibe, but I'm picking up
Number 1.
Number 1.
He was bald, which is a strong choice
As a
for
child.
children's TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caillou.
I feel like all of the other hairstyles were like.
You good?
So unique, so fun.
Well, I
having
feel like
trouble
they had
finding
all
the
bases
holes.
covered. You know, what were they missing? One bald kid.
I had a crush on number 5.
Oh, 100%. She was pretty as fuck.
It was like a bit of an awakening. It was like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 3. This is
That's
sweet.
fine.
Huh?
Are you talking
Codename
Door?
Kids Next Door. It was fine.
I've seen bits and pieces.
I think you guys had like aged out
Maybe.
probably.
Yeah,
on
that was like the
most
tail end of my watching, honestly.
Okay.
Anyway,
part. Dead center.
on a number
I got number 1.
Voiced by Princess Kita. Number 5.
you get surface level thoughts.
Cree Summers, I love her.
Surface level. Down here? I'm stupid. I'm so dumb. Kill me with a hammer.
We have to kill you now.
You get a sense of
So vulnerable.
anxiety and
Valid, they're underwater.
trepidation.
Valid, they're underwater.
They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And you hear, that makes sense. How are we going to get past it? Keep picking them off. That might work, but not hopeful. Make an insight check.
19.
19. Nice. Whoever this is that you're listening to the thoughts of, they don't appear to be aware of your presence, and they seem to be involved in a conversation.
Sick. Okay. The D4, was that to see who I went to first or just how many thoughts I could get?
That was just to see which one's thoughts you were getting.
Okay, cool. Can I blip over to another one?
I think so. Yeah, let me read this one more time. Spell and detect presence of
Hard.
creatures.
It's like
trying not to
this
be like-
lollycat.
As an
there?
action each
This-
turn. Yeah, you can. You can, for sure.
Was that just one?
You switch over to another one.
It didn't matter.
Oh.
It's not gonna work. Oh shit, we're gonna die out here. Oh, we're fucking dead, man. We're dead. This is the end. We're gonna die. There's nothing we can do out here. And then there's kind of like a brief stop. That fucking hurt. I guess it makes sense. You get the sense that there was like this building anxiety, and then like a slap or something occurred.
Yeah.
Kind of knocked him out of it a bit.
Okay. Cool. Can I blip?
To a different person?
Yes.
This makes the most sense. It has to work. If it doesn't, I can't think about that. It has to work.
Can I motion to Nori, like, you here?
Yes.
Should we? I'm gonna.
Okay.
If I'm in her vicinity to hear that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll pull off my ring and give it to Nori. So that, not like that. So that, like, if she can. So I'll just kind of like.
I was excited.
Yes?
This is so that you can hear us.
Oh, that's nice.
And I will just stick very close to one of my other members and begin following whatever they do for the duration.
I'll pull my hand away from Rabbit's ear. Is that how it works?
I try just like.
I just imagine Silas
really close to the
underwater
ring
with
and
this
talking.
little like quaff floating, and he's like,
He gone.
Can I
Dumbass.
can I blip to that last person before like telling the gang what I've heard?
Absolutely. Switching over to the last person, you get the same sense of anxiety, which was almost most prevalent in
First and
the
second guys.
well, it was most prevalent in the second guy, yeah, and it was like building, but then kind of tapered, but it was very strong in the third. Moving on to the fourth, still there, wavering up and down. And surface level thoughts, you get, there's not going to be enough food for this. We've got to do what we can at least, I guess. And then you get a sense of agreement.
Okay.
At about this time, the shapes go by the alleyway again.
They seem to be nervous about something. Couldn't really tell what. Maybe the ballistas?
Nori should speak to them.
What
We
if they're
can't-
enemies?
Not wasting words.
everyone shrugs collectively.
I'll try it, I guess. And she swims through the alleyway and turns around the corner.
I mean, I'll follow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you guys trying to remain stealthy as you follow? Because she's given up on that.
we're remaining stealthy to the stake, but we
Yeah.
want to try to get these other secret people
Yeah.
to know that we're here and we're not trying to attack them.
Okay. Okay.
So probably deeper.
Eyes up for sure, but not really a
Yeah,
concern.
you're at this point where you've come across these voices. You're around the E of Undertow, so you're pretty well outside of the range.
Okay.
Pretty well outside of the range of the ballista, but still haven't made eyes on. Like you can, looking up, you can see that wall where the water ends, leading to the land side of the district of the city, but it's not close enough to be able to gauge like distance very well.
Have Hazel and Spark gone off on their own?
No, they're still with you currently.
Okay, interesting choice.
Hazel's actually kind of like clinging to Spark a little bit so that they can stay together, but you get the sense there's probably also a little bit of a fear response there as well.
Well, there are giant ballista.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
So, Nori swims out. You all follow behind. She swims forward, and you can now all clearly see, as you get within a decent range, that there are four
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
figures.
Knew it.
3 men and a woman. As Nori is swimming forward, and she just kind of calls out, "Excuse me." They all like whip around very fast, holding spears, like freaked out for a second, and then pause. They notice all of the rest of you as well. One of them swims forward, and in a voice that you recognize as the third figure, speaking aloud now. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" "I'm Nori. I'm not from here. My friends can't speak underwater. They're the Mistwalkers." Everybody make a
I go from
make a
excitement to,
persuasion
like,
check.
oh, yeah, right.
Or one of you make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Do it.
Kitty, save us.
You can't even. You can't. You are unable.
You know,
It's a 4 and a 5
13.
if you're following along,
Right? Yeah.
writing down all the rolls.
13? Not terrible. An eyebrow is cocked at all of you. But tentatively, the spear becomes less of an active threat and more of a warning. If anybody would like to, you can make insight checks as
Yeah.
the man speaks again.
Okay.
And you see this figure who swam forward is definitely a Triton. Humanoid with kind of bluish white skin where there is skin, but there are also these strange kind of like intricate bits of carapace that kind of cling to the shoulders, where you can see kind of peeking out from this what appear to just be kind of common clothing. A little bit along the forearms as well. There's some on the cheeks that kind of lead up the sides of the head. A pair of antennae stick out as well. And the eyes are fascinating to look at. They're like a strange field of hundreds and hundreds of little dots. But he looks akin to a sort of mantis shrimp-esque figure.
Oh, no.
You should have seen us coming from like a year ago.
I can see some.
But there are so many like small blips across the eye that they almost, for each of you, form like a pupil, as if they're focused on specifically you as he speaks.
13.
The Mistwalkers, you say.
I
Should
got
I?
a 23 on insight.
23?
13.
13?
6.
6.
I keep rolling 4s. I don't
7.
know.
Should I recognize that name? Should he recognize that name?
Not really. It would be nice.
Uh,
I'm not saying
I'm
that.
gonna say, let them know we're here to help the city and want to know what happened.
Oh, we're here to help the city, and we need to know what happened. Kind of looks over all of you. Rabbit, on your insight check, 23, you said? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Thank you.
These do not appear to be city guard. They don't appear to be soldiers. They don't even appear to be adventurers. These look
These are
like
just some guys.
these look like commoners who have armed themselves and armored themselves. And yeah, that's kind of the vibe that you get off of them.
Do they have legs?
They seem, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have legs. Some of them, the Tritons do have tails as well. The Genasi don't. They are kind of like, they're almost hard to see because they kind of look as though they are formed with the water. It's like a strange etherealness to the Genasi.
Like a glass of water in water.
Exactly. He kind of looks over all of you again. All right. You're not with the stake, are you?
I don't know if that's universal.
Okay. Wait here. Don't make any sudden movements. He turns around, swims back over to his friends who are a couple feet behind. Rabbit, also on your insight check. The ones in the back look terrified. They are like shaking when they're with the way that they're holding their weapons. It's faint, but you can see it with your insight check that they're like very, very nervous that this might become an altercation.
Can I like wave one of them over real fast?
They're currently conferring with one another.
Okay, got it.
As this shrimp-like Triton swims over and speaks in hushed tones with them. Your spell would have ended at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks across them. They have nervous faces. He motions his hands. They all kind of look at each other, kind of resigned. A couple of nods. He swims back over. All right. Come with us.
Oh,
Stay quiet.
I'm gonna stop. Just do this, like indicating breathing in time if I can.
Make a performance check.
Okay. Ooh.
Because what I got was like, do you have time to talk?
What if I go?
Do you have any food? It's lunchtime.
It's a 10 flat, so you deal with that. You toss that coin. It's the most interesting roll in D&D history.
He looks at you. We've got food in the cab. Come with me. Stay low.
Lord.
Okay.
And he very gracefully swims through the water as you all follow behind.
Yeah, like an alligator on the sand.
Yeah, I'll just grab buildings and structures as I go by and just push off of them.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of kicking and like it would be it would be so fun. There's like a pool with like a city in it and you could Spider-Man from wall to wall.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
There probably is some way.
yeah.
probably.
With nothing else in the pool, though.
Yeah. Except
I
for-
could not make any
Other
sense
Spider-Mans.
of that sentence for some reason. I was just like, that's none of that's words.
Yeah, Spider-Man is very dependent on gravity outside of water. That was kind of rough.
Continuing on, make one more perception check as you travel through a decent portion of the city.
Oh.
Really?
Oh, Cameron.
15.
There's an alphabet on my dice. It's a natural 20!
Fuck you, because I got one too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I'd say we celebrate together.
Oh, yeah.
1,
No, oh my
2,
God.
3. What's your preferred method?
Fucking Virgos. When they have to plan this, why can't we just celebrate?
But, like, if I get too excited, you'll look stupid, and vice versa.
So,
22.
as you are all nice, 22, chiller,
What?
What'd you get?
Alert.
15.
15, nice. Okay.
You're counting.
As you all make your way down to this building on the corner of the first T in district of Undertow District,
Ooh.
making your way down, Silas, you keep eyes out, Aurora as well, kind of glancing for the first time away from the walls where the ballista are towards the dry portion of the city. And each of you notice these kind of like muffled impacts sounds. There will be one, and then a couple of minutes will pass, and then there's another. They're staggered, seemingly in time and distance. They seem to be coming from different places. But both of you on a natural 20, Rabbit, you hear these as well.
Ah.
Both of you on a natural 20, however, as you're passing a particularly kind of open roadway, you can see we'll say you had to take a path for it to be within your range of sight to get here. You see on the other side of this wall of water that behaves like a waterfall but doesn't seem to pool at the bottom. You can see wooden makeshift blockades on the dry portion of land set up, and at various sections within them, you can make out from this point at least 2 cannons that occasionally fire into the Undertow District. And on a natural 20, both of you get the idea, you get the sense that this city isn't captured yet. It's still partially under siege. The Silver Stake doesn't have a way of getting into the Undertow District. So they've currently blocked it off, and are occasionally firing heavy weapons into the water. Maybe as a deterrent, or there could be figures down there, you're not sure. Following this Triton, he leads you into a building. You enter from the second floor through a closed doorway that he has a key to and opens up and lets you in. Swimming in, he closes it behind you and locks it, with his men on the front, kind of wearily swimming backwards, still with spears, keeping eyes on all of you. And you make your way through strange halls that don't behave normally like they would in a regular building, because they, at certain points, just curve upwards. And then suddenly you're going up through floors instead of lengthwise.
Well, probably there wouldn't be like a sharp corner anywhere, because that doesn't make sense for the medium in which you move.
Correct.
Gross.
Yeah, smooth curves. And the building seems to be made of like different types of sandstone and like dense coral in places as well. Swimming upward, you eventually reach a section where the water stops. The Tritons come up first, reaching down and helping each of you up tentatively. He swims up from behind, pulls himself out. The water dripping off of all of you. You all expel your liquid in your lungs.
How much at this point? It just like 10 minutes of us just going, blah.
No, it's as long as it takes you to go. Yeah, exactly that. Looking around as you're doing this, you find yourselves in a space that kind of curves around, has a very oceany saltwater scent to it. And looking down, there is water filling. It's like you're standing on a balcony, but the floor beneath you is flooded. And looking down, you see a number of other, through the kind of like wrinkles, and there are arcane lights within this room as well. And you notice there are no windows here. A number of other figures huddled together in sections in what looks to have at one point been a warehouse that is now mostly emptied. Eventually, the leading figure comes up out of the water as well, the water dripping off him, and looks over all of you. Mistwalkers.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
My name is Mantis.
Chiller.
I am a scavenger for the Resistance. Resistance, if you can call it that.
How many of you are there?
In this building, 70. We've got another 200 spread across the city. We scavengers go out and pilfer what we can from the Undertow District of food that we can find, keep everyone comfortable and safe.
I pull out an entire leg of pig and give it to them.
He hands it over to one of the water genasi that was with him, who takes it and nods, and he and another begin carving it on a table nearby, preparing to take it down to the people waiting below.
How many do you lose a day? You know.
Less now. Today, 15, if our count is correct.
Have they changed their tactics recently, or just the same barrage?
It's the same. We've been trying to get messengers out of the city quietly by night at first, out of the sea gates, but the ballista are watchful. Did you manage to get past them?
Yeah, I have a bit of a friend that helps with that.
Huh.
We've
We've been sending for aid, but
Yeah.
they rounded up all of the nobles that I know of, and I just used to work in this warehouse. I don't know who our allies are, if Altanen has allies, or where word should be sent. We guessed maybe Dorfalas is near the coast, so we would try there, but based on the fact that none of our messengers have returned, they've either taken off without sending for help, or they didn't make it.
Right. Do you know anything about what the land part of the city? Is what condition it's in? Are there...
The dry side, I've talked with a few who were on the dry side when all of this began happening. Apparently, there was an influx of beasts, monstrosities, that accosted the city, breaking down buildings and walls, and they seemed to just be let in through the gates.
It's kind of Silver Stake's MO, if you will. They,
Right. Then the Silver Stake rode in, they slaughtered the beasts, and began making claims that the noblemen in town had set their people up and were preparing to let them die. It's all been very garbled, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
The Silver Stake create these beings, and they send them in purposefully to make themselves look as heroes so that they can take power.
down with tyranny, right?
See. Well, it seems like maybe they have convinced the populace that those of us residing here are dissidents, that we were on the side of these creatures or the noblemen that allowed them in. So they've blockaded the Undertow District, and anytime anyone gets close to trying to exit, regardless of if they're armed or not, they are shot down.
What are their numbers?
We haven't gotten a detailed count. Again, most scouts that we send don't return, so we've taken to not
Right.
sending them.
Even
But
the
they
surface? Yeah, there's a crew for each ballista, a crew for each cannon.
I'm not sure. We don't have many guard in this district. It's mostly warehouses and food storage, which has worked out a little bit to our benefits, but kind of like looks over to make sure that nobody else is kind of on this dry side before he speaks. Our supplies are dwindling. We're running out of food, and there's not much left to be found throughout.
How long do you
rest of the
think you
district.
can hold out from now?
Best estimate, if we're conservative, 6 days.
It's not long
That's
enough
before
for
we
us
run
to
out.
get word anywhere and back.
We have allies, but they're a bit far.
Do you know of any breakdowns in the walls leading out to the ocean?
Not that I'm aware of. We stay mostly clear of the walls these days. The ballista can be swiveled.
What did these warehouses contain?
Mostly foodstuffs, storage, or various furniture goods. This one in particular was live storage of fish and other types of seaweed and foods.
Do you have any specialties among you? Do you have anyone who's a soldier? Anyone of any rank or file?
We have a few former guard members. That's where most of my information has come from. We have one, and he's got a bit of battle shock, if you will.
Do we have anything for that amongst us? Bit of
A good old-fashioned hug. But beyond that, no, I don't think we have anything in particular.
Not really anything that wouldn't hurt him. I can't really fix, that. At best, I could give a skill empowerment, but it would only be for like a certain instance and only for a certain time. I don't think I can do anything for him long term, unfortunately.
Hazel? Anything for sale that might help somebody ease their nerves?
No, and I don't think I'm rightly going to make a lot of sales down here. Things seem pretty dire. I need to get on the other side of the wall.
Well, we do have some Silver Stake clothing from previous fights of theirs. We could try to infiltrate a bit of their side of things.
You have the cloaks.
We have a bit of their cloaks from the land side. I don't know if they're any different on this coast.
What
Black and
is
silver.
Yeah.
H
White?
when
The ones that you guys have are stark white.
Stark white, that is. I think there was We dealt with some tree thing you might not know about.
What is the modifier on a score of 25?
Oh,
An ability score, sorry.
I see what you're asking. Let me check real quick.
Well,
It's up there.
I'm going to get dressed real quick. I don't know if we're going on another tour. Do these cloaks look similar to what they're wearing? And we could dye them?
Could I see them?
I'll pull out mine.
Yeah. What you guys have are not cloaks. They are clothing meant to be placed over armor. These are the ones from Rovenghoul, if I'm not mistaken. You show them. He kind of looks over. I haven't really seen any wearing that. Mostly they wear the black and silver capes with the hoods.
I think we accidentally just got part of like an extinction assignment on
sure,
that.
Yeah, some kind of ritual garb.
Excursion.
Might be a bit hard at picking some off and taking their clothing.
Together?
Not in like a fun way, but like in a horrible way.
This is one of the warehouses that we were looking for food in had a number of weapons. Nothing magical, just simple spears and harpoons mostly, but we've armed ourselves as best we can, but they don't seem to have any interest in entering the district. I think at this point they're just trying to starve us out.
Oh, yeah. A siege would be the best thing I would do if I didn't have a foothold where I was fighting.
So, are you all trying to get into the city, or are you trying to get away?
We're trying to get out. As far as I understand, the city has been occupied by the stake, and they want people like me and them dead.
Do you have allies outside of the city? Are there more
Me?
Tritons elsewhere?
I grew up here. I've never left the city in my life.
But do you know of any other Triton civilizations?
I think the most important thing is to at least get people out of here.
Absolutely. But where to?
Well, that's not really that important. Most cities aren't going to turn down people.
25 is a +7.
Is that like a lot? Is that like...
Yes. That is
that, like, crazy
that's
a
5
lot?
points over humanly possible. Yes.
Okay.
Most scores cap at 20 and
Could I
cannot
have
be raised past it.
Could I have a quick Mistwalker's huddle?
Sure. If you don't mind.
Excuse us, yeah.
Real fast.
Of course. I'll come check on you in an hour or so.
Right.
Oh, we won't. I don't think we'll even need that long, but
Well, I've got to
Thank
see to my people.
absolutely,
oh.
we'll be here.
We'll send for you.
He just kind of like hops over a ledge down into the water and swims down
I'm
below.
never going to get used to that.
We do have this thing, and I'll pull out the potion of fire giant strength.
That's true.
We could maybe get a hole in one of the outer walls away from the gates.
Cause a distraction so that maybe some of them can
Well,
get
we
out.
could do it at the very bottom of like standing on sand at the bottom, slowly trickle people out along the bottom of the ocean.
You're drawing. Well, they don't want to come into the water, do they?
They can't. What are they gonna do? So if they can't see or get their ballistas down,
Could I see that map? Do you have?
I have. Yes, I have it.
Yeah, you purchased it. Thankfully, it's waterproof.
Can I? Oh, you
Yeah,
have a
I
copy
was
as well. I'm a
doing that.
dumbass.
Doing the
That's
RP
thing. I was
thing.
like, the only way he can get this is if I give him. I bought it. It's mine.
So here on the eye of district here, there's a straight shot from the dry land to that gate, right? If we damage one of those gates, the walls around it, they could be tempted to come in and check on it, right?
If we
That-
damage two areas,
If they do that, then we have an ambush waiting for them in the water if they decide to come through the water.
But I feel like there's so many of them, and they have those
They
giant harpoons.
I think we avoid the gates entirely. I think we try and find maybe a little corner piece in kind of the crescent of the Undertow District and try and damage just a person-sized hole there. We don't even know that this potion is going to be able to allow us to do anything more than a little bit of space.
Don't you think that boring a hole through the wall might alert those atop it? Sorry, am I allowed to be in this
Well,
meeting?
imagine for a moment.
you're good now.
All right, hang on.
I can make myself look like one of you if that's more comfortable.
Very quickly,
Don't.
would you mind doing me a little
Takes
experimental
Cholula's face.
favor for a moment, right?
Sure.
Hold your arm under the water. I will put my arm under the water. I will give it a punch to prove that, because when you're underwater, right, impact is different because there's something absorbing most of it. So even if we are punching at the wall underwater, right, the water is absorbing most of that impact. As long as we're not trying to take down the wall, they probably won't notice on the wall, right?
How big are the walls as we went into the gate? How thick were they? I'm so sorry.
A couple feet. Probably like 3 feet thick.
And the ballista was sitting atop that.
Or no, sorry, it would have been way more than that. It
The
was
ballista
about,
was placed precariously on top of a 30-foot wall.
It was about 7 feet. Because there's like a foot on either side of stone, and then about 5 feet for battlements that you can walk atop for ballistas to be
It
placed.
depends on whether or not it's a full stone wall or a containment wall, right? Walls built to hold sand, right? That would be the cheapest way of building it.
It's possible that the people who live here, especially, would know what these walls are made of. If it's just a little bit of wall, a bunch of sand, and then a little bit of wall, we could maybe do it quick enough that it doesn't even fucking matter what it's made of.
Here on the either the coming off of the U or coming off of the D of district, there's a big enough space between ballistae that could be a large enough gap.
I'm thinking go even further beyond. Just get to these little crescents of the Undertow District, almost where we're touching shore.
I'm going out to the
I
ocean.
see the problem here now,
I'm-
is that we'd be trapped on shore.
Right, and the Tritons are much better at fleeing
Right.
underwater.
But
The Cholula wearing Hazel's clothing kind of steps to the side and grabs Spark, and they begin having a quiet conversation off to the side as well.
But I see what you're saying. If we come from the U or the D of Undertow or District,
There's enough distance that might be 300 feet out of
and
their
we
range.
can stay all the way to the bottom of the water, they didn't seem to track us even a little bit.
If it gets bad, I can throw my friend up there and just darkness all around them.
We could also see if these people have any sort of chum or something that could attract things more interesting than us for them to shoot at.
I wouldn't want to waste their food supplies. That seems to be what they would.
Well, it would be kind of at the last minute as we're fleeing, so...
I do have this bag of tricks that
Oh, don't turn them into chum.
that could be. I mean, it'll turn them into whatever, but it would be up to 3 moving around things.
Oh, that could just give us a distraction.
Probably just flapping around and drowning in the water, but they would be
But
some
it would keep them
detectable
apart.
movement.
You do lights in the shape of yourself, right?
I can.
About how far can that go? You can have kind of a smorgasbord. They said these ballistae pivot. It takes quite a bit to pivot those things. If we have on both sides, they'd have to choose.
I can throw it about 120 feet.
That's incredible.
I can do that as well. But I'll be punching.
Right, yeah, we'll be running guard, I think. We're also
So-
running out of this as well. As far as not food.
Do I know? Okay,
The
hang
breathing
on.
underwater.
I just...
Hazel returns.
So
No,
what?
go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. But you hear the voice coming from Cholula's visage. But I've been talking with Spark, and we've decided that we've probably gathered about as much intel as we need to. The city has been mostly overrun by Silverstake. However, it seems any of our associates that were within the city must have been found out, probably put to the knife with the nobles. And this portion of the city is still under siege. There are people who need rescuing from tyranny. So,
Immediately.
you might do what you wish, but I think myself and Spark, within the next 8 hours, while we can still breathe underwater, are going to take our chances, attempting to swim out of the city and get this information to the people who might be able to do something about it.
Right. So
You know,
what if we
You have 6 days.
pick the
Right.
gate where we came in, the very first one, close to shore, where we could start funneling
Stay close to the wall. They can't aim down quite as much.
all of the people, and then we'll set up in our respective areas to cause disturbances and different portions that are much more magical looking than whatever they might think is fish.
Oh, down with you.
We could send some of the more capable fighters out through a gate near the shore. That way, if you've got to bank towards shore to avoid, ballista, right? At least you have a chance of taking on guards. And
Well-
try and take the weaker through a new door that we'll be making.
How far apart were the cannon teams on the shore firing through the waterfall thing?
About 200 feet.
That's a
Separated?
lot of distance.
I
If
feel
we take out one of those teams, that's enough distraction on the shore, and not enough, we could still flee back into the water. This has to happen quickly. We are running out of this potion.
We have 7 hours.
It's 7 hours to go to a wall, punch a hole,
understand.
fight a cannon. That's
I understand. If
Also
we're-
worth noting, you guys took a short rest earlier, and it is now nighttime. So those of you who can feel the effects of exhaustion will feel those soon, potentially,
so.
after a full day of travel and then infiltration.
Right.
I feel like
Perhaps
if we can start leading everyone quietly through the streets toward the gate that they can exit, and then have set up in the center gate a timed distraction, explosion, lights, loud noises, something of the sort,
birds.
that they'll be more likely to look that way than over at the gate where there's going to be very light shadows of people. And they're all like tritons in water genasi, right?
All the people here, yeah.
Yeah, they can swim under the water farther along the shore. They don't have to come up as soon as there's a beach available. They can
They can stay
get out
down.
farther.
Even if we had to take them all the way up to Dorfalos before they could come up, it wouldn't be an issue.
But we do need to have them as close to their exit as possible, and then begin a distraction, and then find our way out of that area as well.
Right.
We can go to the opposite shore.
a
Close
distraction. A distraction and a gate open. That seems to be it, right?
But there's already a gate.
Well, exactly, but a gate being open
How big
because
of a
of us.
distraction can we make?
We've got 2 forms of lights in the shapes of whatever you guys decide. I think, how high are the walls?
100 feet.
I was going to say I could throw my friend up there and just kind of surround one of the ballistae, but I think it's a bit out of my range.
If we can create a distraction of lights and start creating a hole into the dry city,
Oh, that's just water separating.
there's not a wall. I thought you said they were like blockades.
There's a blockade on the other side. It's like wooden blockades set up along that.
Yeah, they're like shooting into a waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a wall between the dry part of the city and the.
Yeah. I'd describe it as more of like a half wall battlement.
Like
kind of
horses and horses, but
Like maybe
wooden
like a-
horses and sandbags.
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Exactly. It's like basically enough for the people sitting back there with crossbows to have cover in case anybody inside fires out.
I think there's a severe misunderstanding for all of us of what is separating the part where it's just water people and the dry part.
There is a wall of water held in place magically.
But there's not a wall.
But you can just walk through it.
Fantastic.
However, you'd be walking through it into a hail of arrows and cannon fire from
Right.
a setup.
So
But
they're
it's not something we would ever need to blast a hole into because
Correct.
it's water.
So the stake is on the dry part behind a half wall.
Yeah.
Over every 200 feet, there's a cannon team.
But the
they're-
wall
they're
extends
not
the
like,
entire distance.
They're not like up on a like the 100-foot wall that's at the other gates. It's not
Not that you guys saw.
in the inside part.
The only people who even saw that barricade were Silas and Aurora.
Okay.
So you'd have to investigate to know more about it.
Okay.
I mean, I relay the information that I can about what I
Yeah,
saw.
100%.
Yeah. I just feel like if they've set up a blockade to try to not let people from in here enter into the dry part of the city, if they are under the assumption that people are breaking in a different location than where people are actually escaping from, I guess, is rather than making a hole that has no use. Because if we punch a hole into a wall to cause distraction and be a gate, they can't escape from the gate because that's where the attention's going to be going.
Right. We're trying to create other distractions so that we can punch a hole through a wall.
But there are already gates they can just go through.
I think the question is, why do we need to punch a hole in the wall if there's a gate?
Because there's likelihood that no matter what, they're going to watch the gates. Right?
Unless there's a large distraction happening.
You
elsewhere.
have something. You've created large-scale distractions before.
I mean, likely, yes. I mean, a tavern here and there. I don't know about a 100-foot wall level of a distraction. Was there something in particular you remember? That I didn't?
They're big creature on a wall.
My,
Big,
I was
big angry
quickly
fire giant.
killed.
the cards. Oh yeah, I can.
But what I'm getting at is, if we could get something out there that makes sense for our location, it could be large enough that they would all focus in on that and try to prevent it from breaking down the walls that they're literally standing on. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
And then we can just funnel everybody out while it takes them time to figure out what on earth is going on. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
And meanwhile, we can also have lights going off.
If it gets bad, we can throw something at whoever's operating the ballistae. Right?
I'm suggesting we make that our main distraction in the distance.
Yeah.
Prepare everybody to take off. Right? And then we all swim out maybe 50 feet to the middle of the ocean, throw up a card, implying that something is headed this way. It would probably take them a minute from a distance to figure out that it's not working because it's not real. But it would probably focus most of our ballista friends on whatever it is out in the middle of the ocean approaching, right?
And then, yes, of course, everyone slips out through the northmost underwater gate.
I can also use these little fuzzballs and have them travel along
We could have many things happening
the
at the
length
same
of
time.
where
It
the
should be
ballistas are.
as much as possible.
But I think
because-
something very large would attract attention from all ballista to a central location, which is
I-
exactly what we need.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think between that and us, while we're exiting, if something goes sour there, you two can do dancy, pretty lights around them. That would be our backup for whomever's escorting the people out. Because someone's
we-
going to have to flip a card out in the middle of the ocean and then get away from ballista fire.
How long does it take you to swim?
I think you saw a good amount. I swim like a human man does.
Do I think I could be very fast? Like, okay, wait, let me think about how...
If I had
The
no...
two of you are definitely faster than an average person because you have higher movement speeds.
Right.
I'll go ahead and tell you mechanically, when swimming, without the aid of something like Cholula's gloves, you swim at... water is technically difficult terrain, so you swim at half your movement speed.
What if I weighed myself down at the waist? Could I run along the bottom of the ocean?
Then you'd
But
fast?
you'd
still be in
still be way
difficult
down.
terrain.
You could make an athletics check
Okay, I'm just
to
asking.
potentially be faster.
I was more or less gauging your enthusiasm on that idea.
But if one were to step of the wind, that would still be 60 feet in 6 seconds,
Depending
depending.
on.
What's your movement speed?
60 feet.
Just your regular movement speed is
Yeah.
60 feet?
I have the mobile feet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It adds 10.
That's fucking bananas. Yeah. If you used your action to
So-
dash, you could go 60 feet still.
Oh, I don't even have to step of the wind. If I then also step of the wind, that's 120 feet in 60 seconds. I could probably get it out there about 120 feet.
90 feet. Because even with your step of the wind, it's still at half speed.
Yeah.
Right. So we're tripling 30.
I'm not so worried about how far we're getting it out as much as when you put it out, getting away.
I think that is also fairly easy. I would just drop back down to the bottom and meet in a triangle formation back to where you would be leading people out, right? I would
Right.
just shoop, and then you all would be doing a shoop, and then I would shoop.
You're pointing.
Allow me to-
You have a map. Can you point towards? The
I
map?
will point at the map in a triangular formation
Okay, so yeah,
to explain how my brain.
you're shooting in the air.
I
Do you want
don't.
to outline it on your map here for us to see in real life? Can you mark it up?
I can sure try. All right, I have to get to my
marking
map.
it up.
We've had many sessions. Okay.
There, you can swallow the bottom.
So we're trying to get something out into the center of this so that all of these guys, I'm the dot, and then you all are leaving from the southern or the northernmost tip, and then I would just come over here.
Yeah. Pull
It's
an
a
old Pythagorean.
triangular formation, so I would come out here, right? You all would be leading people out here, and then when I'm done over here, I would just meet you
Of course.
up there.
Right.
Quickly, carefully, underwaterly.
I'm not much one for tactics, but if the ballista are scattered along the walls, would you be distracting all of them, or just the ones right there?
Well, we're not. Okay, let's be clear. This is something very large, right?
Right.
Large enough that if it was about 100 feet out, it would attract the attention of all ballista.
To be clear, not guaranteed. This is a
We
crapshoot.
can't, like, shuffle through it.
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's kind of every time I throw it, it's
Are things more often large than not? What are some things that you've pulled out before?
Silas, roll a d20.
15.
15. Your mind glances over just in the back of your head. There's a little thought, a little chaotic thought that pops up that says, but there is that other deck of cards.
But I hate that side. Here's how.
Just a little voice that speaks to you.
This is inconsistent. You know, it's presented to me things I think between about my height to a bit larger. I don't think anything smaller. I haven't really used it very often either.
Fire Giant was pretty huge.
That was a big one. So okay, maybe that. So to me to that then, because before that it was the 15-foot lady friend that I threw outside of a cart at the dinosaurs.
How many ballista are there total?
You went there for the
I
dinosaurs.
wasn't there for that. We have 1, 2. Okay, there's like 2 little like pokey things where the gates are. Are those also ballista, or is that just the gate?
The ballista are mounted atop the battlements. So each little spike, in addition to each side of the gates.
I'm counting 6. Oh, and on addition to each side of the gates.
Anything that doesn't look like a flat line. A little node.
There are 12 total along the seawall.
12.
So,
And we
To
only
No-
need to
to
be
Nori's-
really concerned with the ones that would be watching our.
to Nori's point, we
Gate.
could do just outside of, just inside of the gate. That would,
Turn them around.
it takes a while, unless the team is very good.
So we'd have to start it pretty quick. Or rather, we'd have to start it, wait, and then go as soon as we think they're turned.
Do I remember when this fell off from the T-Rex thing? When I threw one out the back,
Like,
do I remember when? I'm
Stop.
reading here that it's 120 feet. Does Silas know that it's 120?
yeah, Silas is aware of the way that it works.
Okay. The user has to be within 120 feet, so this person would be escorting people through the gate and watching the illusion.
Alright. I think that's a good call, though, to do it inside the gate. The only
Put it
risk
at
that
the
we
top
run
of
there
building
is
or
that people run from nearby ballistas on the inside.
Now we would sneak them along the wall if we could. Set the illusion, sneak out, right? We're not transporting them underneath the illusion.
There's also the option, potentially, again, I'm no strategist.
You're
What if
killing me
there's-
so far.
Well, if there's 6 days of food left, couldn't you just do your strange shadow magics that you did for us and take small groups out one at a time?
What was the numbers again? 70? Is that what they were saying?
200 everyone underwater.
270.
How far does your shadow? Because it's an area of effect, right? Because it hasn't.
Within 30 feet.
Yeah, I mean, he's
The only problem is that every time we do that, we run a risk that it fails.
And we don't
And the
have,
more often we do that, the higher our chances of failure.
and we only have, 7
if-
hours
if-
left of being able
Breathing.
to move through the water like we can right now.
Right.
So our options are basically try and smuggle out the most necessary people while we can right now.
Should I go ask them who's the most necessary?
Or no, I mean
Oh,
like
absolutely
I
not.
mean the most necessary being the people in this district who are actively being hunted. All 270.
Oh, okay.
Either we try and get them all out now, or we risk that we try and alert somebody and within 6 days hopefully enough soldiers get here to help. And that seems unlikely considering there's not exactly like one guy we can go to and say, hey, we need help over here in Altanen. There's a cult there.
Did I get the impression that the ballistae can't aim directly down?
Probably not.
Was that an answer you
That's kind of
probably
why we
didn't
went
get that
like
impression, or they probably cannot do that?
You probably didn't. You didn't get the impression that they could do that. The shark.
That's why when the
that
thing got
hit,
shot, we like
It was
were
at
like,
an angle.
let's go just inside the wall instead of just out here.
We can do the distraction, but we have to disable the ballistae. They're not going to come into the water.
Well,
We
then-
can't get 200 and some odd people out by one distraction.
How does a ballista work?
Because they're going to shoot the ballista at this and go,
Right.
that's not real.
Right, does anybody know how ballista
It's
works?
a giant crossbow.
Does anybody have a crossbow on them right now?
Yeah.
Aurora has mine.
What is...
So there's
is
a
the mechanism
possibility
like?
that maybe if we could snap the wires.
You can run up walls. Fuck, you can fly.
I could probably take at least one person with me each time I do that.
If you took me, I could jump to the other. You take me up to one, I could jump to the other.
If we can
gate.
disable the 3, right? On a shift change, perhaps? But we'd be stuck waiting it out.
And there are also
No, this would have to be everyone's lined up against the wall again. We go up, fuck it up, and then everyone goes about their merry way before they can send replacements.
before they get the ballista fixed.
Well, and we have to hope that we don't get killed in the process of doing that.
If
Yes,
I go straight
because,
for the string of one, I can send my friend along to darken the other. They can't see outside of the ballistae. And I know I can take 2.
I can also do that.
Do what?
I can make it dark.
Oh, you got more in common than you thought.
I'm not mad.
It's not usually useful. It's not usually useful. I don't remember that.
It's not you hear that?
Yeah.
Because I can't see in it.
The shadow like stretches back to the wall.
But I can send it 60 feet out, so...
Can we go 60?
So you could both block.
Without even going all the way up.
We can.
Just sticking up against the wall.
There is a third there.
Fucking
So-
grenade rivet, bro. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
How far apart are... So, our biggest concerns, we have 2,
We have 4 right out the gate. You know.
but if we... The ones over the gate, we could just darkness one of those.
Both of them, if you can both do
Yeah,
it.
if we... One darkness equals 1 gate.
As in the inn
right?
of Altanen, south of the inn of Altanen there's that one.
We can snap a bowstring, and then we can darkness another one. And all 4 are handled.
I was saying we would go up and physically snap the ones above the gate, and then we could spread out and do the other 2 ourselves.
I think that's a good idea.
Just the 2.
If
Then we only need to
We
decide.
be
can
4
actually
total.
put up walls
And we can just jump off of the wall as soon as we're done.
Yeah,
into the water.
well, you can fire me out the fucking ballista. I don't care.
Well, then you're gonna go far. We need you to just go down, really.
So then we'll
But-
need someone to. We'll need someone
There's
to.
another part of Silas still talking to him.
We'll need someone to lead everyone through gates.
You can do
And
dancing lights. We just.
no, I can't.
Oh no. Was it you?
No, that's
I
her
can-
shield. It just kind of looks like it.
I can throw up little lights as like little guards to get people to follow and go out.
But that might, if anyone is at the gates on shore and sees the lights, they're likely to follow them.
Oh, I don't mean like out the gates. I mean to gather people together. It's 200 people. That's a lot of people to try to amass in one movement. So if we can pre-gather them, pre-launch them, we get everyone in one area. When they go up to knock out the ballistas, we go.
So
If we already have those people gathered, I can help gather them.
the area east northeast of the U, against the wall.
East, north, east.
So hit the U and
Can
just
I
get out from.
Hang on, I need to do something
Never
real
eat
fast. Right? Is this right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Never eat soggy
So
waffles.
east northeast means a bit more east than north. So straight out from the U there of. We can amass the people there because it's the furthest from all the ballistas,
Right.
and then we can launch our assault on the gate.
Right.
That will be enough of a signal, I imagine.
I will say, if there's any chance that we get up there and it doesn't look like we can do this, we need to immediately jump down.
For sure.
Because we'll die up there.
I don't mind that either. Not both of us. I don't mind if you can.
Well, everyone else does, so
Right.
get over it. So, you two will go up and
It's not a
darken.
sad thing.
And yes, it is. You and you will go up and darken
Disable.
and/or disable ballistas. We will be leading people out the gate.
We can get them all
And-
squared away.
Tell them to just keep going in the water as long as they can, as far away from the city as possible.
Here's your ring back.
I'm gonna need that, thank you.
Maybe you could use those to. How far can they talk?
Miles.
10 miles.
The
Oh,
3 of
so those of you, once you've got the ballistas
We'll be
done,
organizing,
you can just let
correct?
the ones down below know. Because, no offense, but I would imagine that each of these people that you're trying to get out of the city can probably swim a lot faster than the 2 of you can.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would
We're
actually
just
like
more about organization.
it'd be nice if 2 of the more hardy ones could hang back and help us swim out. We just grab shoulders and pounce.
Yes. Because once
So probably 4 hearty.
we're done with this, we can't swim as well as all of you can, and we may end up.
We need to rest for the evening for sure.
We'll need to rest, and we'll also be a lot closer to the enemies on land that will shortly be funneling out.
Right. Do we need to do this within the next 8 hours?
Yes.
Should I go and tell Mantis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If you could bring him here.
Sure, I'll go get him.
Yeah. Well, are we meaning to rest?
There's a splash.
We don't have time to rest before this.
Just trying to hedge our bets. I'm not mad.
I understand.
We have.
How long is a short rest? It's like 3 hours?
Short rest is an hour.
But it's not going to keep
By
us
our
from
rules.
getting exhausted.
A medium rest. Is it one of those? It's a good cat nap. I don't know who I'm talking to. Probably you.
I think there should be an item that's like, you can fend off exhaustion for one more day, but then you take 2 points. Like a caffeine beverage, essentially.
Adrenaline potion. Mantis comes up from the
For some
water,
people, it
kind
just
of
makes you
vaults
freak out.
himself over near all of you, being careful not to splash any of you.
We can
Your friend says you have some information.
Yes, here's the plan.
Um,
Tell him the plan.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear, the plan is
Amass.
central gate. You're going to take out. You're going to disable 4 ballista.
Was it the central gate or are we going?
No, we're
Northern
going for that
gate.
north gate.
The one that
gate?
we came in.
Okay,
We're going
northeast
to amass
gate.
the people nearest the wall nearest to the U. Amass them there.
Okay.
As close to the wall as we can.
And then hop up to the northeast gate, disable the 4 ballista there.
2 physical, 2 darkness.
Then you two get signaled. Everybody makes a swim for it.
I mean,
Yes.
you guys can go. You guys can make the move as we're disabling it. They will not be firing upon you. They will be very concerned with.
And we
two-
at least can't get ballista'd while the ballistas are aiming at...
I can't even fire at something 5 feet away from me for some fucking reason with a bow. So I can't imagine a
I will
ballista has
say,
any kind of.
we should go ahead and hit the first one with darkness while we're still climbing up that wall. Because it's going to keep them focused on whatever is going on there.
The other
at
ballista
first.
won't know that. I mean, seemingly won't know that that's darkness because of, it's night.
It's a special kind of darkness, though. It's-
Right, but it won't be something as if it were daylight and
Didn't
then
they
a dark
have, like-
sphere took
No,
over
but
one of
probably
them.
the people who are inside of it might start screaming or something, and that would attract some attention
Still
off
slower
of us
than-
climbing.
A daylight, void.
So, how tall is this wall that they're going to be walking up?
100 feet.
100 feet? Okay. So, when you get about halfway up the wall, we'll go ahead and start everyone's
We'll
foot.
have sent up our first darkness at
Yeah.
that point.
Okay.
And if there's anyone available to help us who cannot swim so fast to sort of tag along with the last ones, so that we can also get far, far away from here.
Your strongest 2 should be helping people get out, and your other strongest 2 should be bringing up the tail.
Right. There are some items in a warehouse. Maybe 5 blocks north of here. I can gather those. I think they might help you.
Is that on the way to the U here on the map?
Yes?
That could be. This should be swift. In fact, they cannot know that we are amassing people.
Right. I know.
And stay deep.
And we will have to amass them.
And
They
along
are-
the walls.
They're spread out at 3 different warehouses across the Undertow District. I'll send my men to collect them, and he kind of points down on the map at that wall right between the of Undertow. We'll have them bring everyone here as quietly as possible. It's dark, so we should have a bit of an advantage.
Yeah. And we have 6 hours left of this.
Right.
That's what I was trying to.
The item I was going to get. I'll stop being vague. My apologies.
Oh, thank you. That does make it easier to plan.
We didn't collect them and bring them here because there's no need for the people that live in the Undertow District to need them, but we do have a number of bubble veils in a warehouse nearby that will extend that period for quite some time.
That would be
Should we
fantastic.
determine a place that everybody should hit land? It really isn't that far before we have safe spaces. We could bring everybody to Mossendale at least for a period of time.
We should have scouts on the shore in case
I
silk
think-
stakes send chases.
I think the people can go where they want to go. It honestly might benefit us more if we kind of fan out in a conical shape as we exit through the gate. That way, if for some reason the ballistas do get their acts together,
We're
hopefully,
not all in a straight line.
yes, and anyone who is still within the 300-foot range that the ballista have will be spread out enough that less of a chance of hitting anyone,
Yes.
rather
Right.
than if we're all
Well,
clumped together.
If anyone doesn't have a place to go, Marsendale is a
The
place that is
closest
a
neutral city.
and it's a sort of a refuge. The stake are not allowed, and it is very well guarded against them.
They pride themselves.
And they're
on
likely
erratic.
going to need a warning soon that possibly that won't be true for long.
It's within the swamps as well, so
Should be
those
comfortable.
of us accustomed. to
Don't
water.
go to the dry beam though. It's so arid.
All right,
Yeah, bloody
make a note of
nose.
that.
Yeah. Overnight, they don't give you any kind of moisturizers.
All right.
I can
will we
fight-
be meeting you in Mossendale?
We could.
We could. I
We
think
have
it's wise of
plans.
us to head back to Mossendale.
Yes.
All right.
Dorfalas is not favorable, being on the coast at all.
It's
It's much further.
ideal, but it's far.
I don't know if the bubble veils would get you all the way that far up the Obsidian Coast.
And as far as we go, if we aren't meeting in the water, we'll be meeting at the cart as planned.
All right. I'll collect the bubble veils and I'll meet you at the wall,
Yes.
base of the wall. I'll send my men to collect everyone within the district. We'll meet you there as well, quietly as possible.
Have everyone cover anything shiny they've got on them.
If you have anything that could dye them to like dark.
We've got a number of dark-colored cloaks that are pretty insubstantial.
It would probably be ideal.
All right.
I can fight within the darker orbs. I can see. So
I can't. So if you go missing into them, I can't help you.
right, but I could. We could.
You could snap the cables
Yeah, I could.
in the darkness.
We can do the first two in darkness. I can do those, and then we can both take over the next.
Great.
If we just disable the ballista itself, we don't have to fight everyone there. But
All
if they're
we
in
have to
darkness,
do
I
is
could
get
just,
away from them.
Yeah.
After we do that. All right.
we can move.
Do we have a? We should have like a
I think we
kinda-
just do kind of the awkward go. That's kind of a thing.
right. It feels bad though. I don't feel confident in myself when we leave it.
Right.
I kind of feel every time we plan something and we decide to go do it, it feels a little bit like it's going to be the last thing I do.
Oh, we've got
So maybe
we've got a bit of a test audience here. So if a group were just completing a really dope plan together, not yet. If we did like a super awesome plan, like what would you like a huzzah? I feel like I've seen people do that before.
Huzzah feels a bit contrived.
Does it? I don't see it.
And we are the mist walkers, so maybe it should be a little bit more like.
Oh, maybe we should just go.
No, that's weird.
Yes, we'll all
I-
blow
I
each
have
other.
I have kitten
So-
breath. I haven't slept in a couple of days.
We put our
Maybe you could find something thematic with mist.
Miss.
yeah, so we put our hands together.
Or
and
we
then-
just walk away. That seems
Oh,
like
I like this.
There
No,
is
I
another
like
warehouse
this.
that has a lot of thesauruses in it. Do you need some
Right,
synonyms?
no, you know what? This isn't important. I'm just bringing it up for when we have some downtime. I think we should
Oh,
workshop.
we should do it now.
We don't have a lot of breathing room, do we?
We're about to.
I'll need to armor up.
Right, you'll have at least 24 hours from the bubble veils.
Great.
Yeah, so we
Fantastic.
could sleep and use the bubble veils.
Oh.
So they can gather forces.
Can we
go
take a
for
little? Can we take a little nap?
we can go for the
Okay.
next night. Tomorrow night?
It would be easier to get people safely towards the wall, at least. In that
Yeah.
And we
amount
could
of time.
rest, which we...
Great.
I just want to be at our tip-top. I'm not a young
Right.
man.
Can we
Then we
sleep
could take our
tonight?
time instead of having to stick to the streets. We could go from building to building. We'd be less likely to be noticed. I think that's a good idea.
Right.
Great. We need to go to bed.
Right. We should get some rest as well. I'll have the bubble veils for you in the morning.
Is there a better name for them? They seem a bit innocent.
Well, it is
They are
morning,
exactly
right?
what
The
they are.
breathy
It's
sacks.
just a veil that you place over
We've
your
been
face, and
over
it's like a bubble.
At nighttime. It's only been about 2 hours since we potioned. Well, y'all potioned.
Yeah. So it'll be like closer to nighttime whenever we get back into this, right?
If we go to sleep right
Afternoon.
now, it'll be morning when this is all
Maybe
happening.
like...
Yeah, we're coming
Close
up
to
on like
midday.
midnight.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Oh yeah, we did do that kind of early.
But
So
we're risking exhaustion if we stay up.
yes, but do we want to do this during daylight, or do
No.
we want to? We're continuing with the darkness plan, correct?
Yes.
No, yes, we're
What we're
doing
doing
this
is-
tomorrow night.
So we're
Okay,
sleeping,
that's-
and we'll wake up in the morning, and then we'll
Probably,
spend
like,
a day
conference.
chit-chatting with Tritons.
And you're currently in air, so like if
Yeah.
your potions wear off while you're resting, you'll be fine in this particular space.
We won't
Yes,
be
I was just
sleeping with the
making sure
fishes.
that we're doing the plan at under cover of night.
But you're about to be.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know much about fancy goodbyes or ending plans with
Neither do us.
pizzazz or even really fighting, but I know brave folks when I see them, and we're all glad to have you here. Thank you for your help. He exits.
I wasn't going to say anything. We're not brave, we're
That
dumb.
was really
right? It was-
majestic. Yeah. I was gonna say something, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna get us into that loop where we just do this, and it's gonna be ruined for him.
Oh,
we did pretty good that time, though.
there's another one right over there.
We're very brave.
Did you
We're
hit-
so brave.
Did you hear any of that?
Only a couple words. Aurora,
Do
you
you think
recognize
we're cool?
you recognize the second voice that was very anxious. I mean, you made it into the city. No one else has been able to do that yet. So,
Oh,
It's gonna be.
do you think this plan is going to work?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yes.
great.
Make either a persuasion or a deception check, depending on how you feel about it.
Well, maybe.
Do we each get to make one?
One of you can make it with advantage. I'll say
Okay.
either one more of you can roll, or Cholula, you can roll again.
She's
I
been,
never
having a,
rolled.
she's been having a 4-5 day.
yeah, I have.
Advantage, deception?
Well, that was the advantage, so you can roll one.
Oof.
You got
Do
it.
it. High note.
Let's do it.
That's better than mine.
16 plus 8 is a 24.
Holy shit!
I'm a good liar and a bad persuader.
You're not detecting thoughts at this exact moment, but all of you can see a visible like lifting of weight as there's a bit of a smile and he nods. And then goes back in. And then he hops back into the water to join his people below.
Oh, this is a stupid plan. I mean, they're going to be great.
There's
but,
wait,
like,
wait, hold on.
Yeah, nobody's up here. The sound isn't traveling.
Okay, yeah, keep on. We're gonna go up there alone.
Yeah, it's
it's.
gonna
I
be-
mean, it's our best plan, but alone.
I think we've got it. I punched the head off of a thing I don't recognize.
No, it's.
You're not alone. You'll have each other.
Ah! Oh my god.
Sorry, it's just.
I thought you were one of them. You have like a visage that looks like the corner of my eye. I thought you were another one.
Should I stand a little further away?
No.
So
I think this is a great plan.
This is a
it
good
seems
plan.
as though
I think it's our best possible one.
Yes, I think so as well. And after we leave here, we will be heading to Marsendale to sort of try to help the people that are leaving to get into there. So it will be a bit longer before we can get you to the College of Wiltbloom. But that is still the plan, and we should be able to hopefully get some allies there.
I think probably it would be ideal of us to visit as many places, at least nearby.
What about
Yes,
those
as we
fellows that
can.
we're supposed to meet in Galadorn?
Right?
We can stop through Galadorn.
There's also
It's
all
not
of
far
those
from
mercenaries that we tried to pay in Galadorn, but I don't know if what's his face made it there. So
Do we think that this is kind of the Silver Stake's last holdout, at least in Mistinol?
In Mistador, I think it's. I think it would be underestimating them to call this a final holdout. You know, it's
It's a big holdout. if it is.
large. They've managed to at least guard every possible entrance with more than, skeleton crew.
well, and that one pompous one that we killed told us
Oh, yeah,
that
too cute.
there were, hideouts everywhere, and we didn't come across any of them. So maybe they all mobilized and came to a central point to take over a city, and
Which
not be in
means-
hideouts any longer.
Yeah, we could speculate, but
Realistically, we should be concerned at the very least that Mossendale and Kalima could be next on the hit list if they're planning on expanding out.
Yes, and we definitely should warn them about. I mean, that's probably what they were planning on doing with that, how do you say it? The bubbly thing that we killed in the marsh. That was what the silver stake meant, a general.
The big creepy thing.
That might be...
Smelled like bad trash.
They may have been trying to get more of those sort of monsters to attack.
We know that Mossendale's been having a problem with silver stake. Sounds like roundabout since we kind of squashed them in Rovenghoul.
But we need to find out where they're doing their experiments now and where they're making these monsters that are coming in to be monsters that they come in and kill. Because if they're killing them, then they're running out of monsters.
I don't think we're gonna be able to get that on this visit.
Oh, no, definitely not.
But if we can start gathering some more powerful folks on our side, we could come back with backup.
Yeah, that's
We'll have to bring an
definitely the
army,
focus.
I think, to be able to take back Altanen. Unfortunately. But if we can make that happen...
That's kind of why I
It
was
should be
asking
a-
about more Tritons, because they cannot do anything over this part of the city, really, apart from the walls.
More what?
Tritons.
I thought you said trains, and I've been very confused.
I don't know what that is. Do I?
A
I think I've heard
I think it's a part of a dress.
Anyway, I didn't see how it was helpful, but now I understand. I think it's risky to assume that most of the cities have enough people to call really an army on their own. But right now, if we could get Kalima and Mossendale to be friends, they could maybe stand a chance while we move along to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
You did see a number of water genasi, in addition to all types of other genasi in Mossendale.
Mm-hmm. And if we get anyone that is able and willing to fight from Mossendale, Kalima, from the college, anybody that what's-his-face knows from the college, if we get up into Geladorn and we can talk to the Hoppers, get their help, and find out what happened to all of the many mercenaries that we tried to pay to come help us with the hag, we could get a pretty sizable group of people together, I think.
The thing that we're coming up against here is that the Silver Stake seems to be very efficient with communicating between themselves, whereas Mistinor isn't. If we can set up a network of communication across the cities, we can mobilize a lot faster.
Yes, if there were a group of heralds or something that could just deliver what you needed delivered, you know?
That would be ideal. We should talk about them someday soon. But for the time being, we should try and figure out how we can help these cities communicate with each other so that we can communicate with them when we try to come back.
Yes, there was. Maybe we can ask. What was his name at the place with the magic items? Maybe they have sending stones or something. Those go far, right?
Wasn't it was Welby?
Welby.
He was working on our rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if he could create something on a larger scale? Something that could communicate a much further distance, but it can stay stationary where it is. That would be perfect for cities trying to communicate across the country.
Yes, we could.
Anyway,
You just commission another world-changing thing, right? That'd be good.
I mean, it would
Been a
probably
long
be
way
a
since spray bottle.
college-wide undertaking,
Yeah, for sure.
but in the name of saving the entire world,
Anything to inconvenience that immortal bastard. That would be wonderful.
I just like to see him sometimes.
I really do. I'd like to see him squirm. He's such a turd.
Me too.
I mean,
He's very nice.
I think if we.
Aurora's alive because of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
very
kind of
nice.
like
It's
my
just-
new dad, so I think we should chill maybe on the.
That's
But
her
he-
dad.
But he's a turd.
I think if we
I'm gonna
tell-
kiss her dad on the mouth, I think.
Dads are turds.
If we let Valdwin know the extent of the threat in this situation,
Oh, if it
I
fits
think he'd
into
be
his
very
schedule.
interested.
he may be willing to teleport us to these places like he did to Kalima before, where we can, take less of his time but quickly travel in between cities and alert them. At least if we can do that, we can try to get Welby working on something before we go.
Yeah, for Welby, that's like a thesis project. That's exactly what he needs right now.
It takes
Yes.
semesters to do that.
But if
right?
you know
Well, we might not
Take-
have those.
time, but we could at least see if Valdwin would help to transport us quickly between places that he has that hold in.
If we can get to Galadorn and meet up with Hazel and Spark
For sure.
the
And
next
rest
week.
of-
Right, but we still have tomorrow to tend with. So
Right, I
that's-
think we're just trying to come up with what happens after that.
We'll have plenty of road, as it is proven,
That's
day by day, traveling through Mistinol.
Alright.
Dinosaurs and dinosaur shit.
Sleep for now.
Right.
I'm excited about tomorrow. It's like just half a mile away. Everything else in Mistinol is like 20 fucking miles away, 50 miles away. It'd be nice just to wake up and
Kind of people
Punch a
just
ballista.
live where they happened to like sit down, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody like a couple 100,000 years
Yeah,
ago,
if someone
like
was, yeah, let's. I need 4 aspiring adventures to help me drink all of this beer. Well, that'd be nice.
Do we want to set up watches?
given that there's cannons firing randomly, could be worth it.
Did they have their own watch? Be nice to sleep in.
Probably they do, but would they necessarily remember to come get us? And, you know, they've got a lot going on.
It kind of seems, no offense, but like, or I guess I don't need to say no offense, it's not your offense, but kind of seems like we're dealing with a lot of untrained civilians.
It's stressful, isn't it?
I mean
We're
that, like,
untrained.
I don't think that they're gonna have their own, like, really sufficient watch.
Yeah.
What if I took one this time and you slept? All the way through. I mean, it's only fair. I've kind of been abusing the system of you guys letting me sleep in. So, what if you just took my sleep and I took your watch?
No, we can spread it out evenly, I'm sure.
Oh, Silas, just sleep.
Just sleep.
You sleep the least out of all of us. I think it's kind of worth it.
Okay.
Technically, I sleep the most efficiently out of all of us, needing far less sleep than you.
I
But
would like to say
Alright.
that I
For-
actually sleep the most efficiently because I sleep the whole time. And I think that that's better.
Do you even need to anymore?
Yes, 100%. It's literally about my quality of life. What are you talking about?
You don't. Your quality of unlife, that is.
Okay, so first off, that's rude. I'm still here.
also, did you know that you kind of, in the middle of the night, you'll be sleeping and it sounds fine, right? I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but you're going, and then all of a sudden you just go,
Here.
you, Silas.
Oh.
And anyway, I think it's concerning and I think we should see someone about
Do
it.
you have night terrors?
I think he's just got allergies.
I think he just stops breathing in the middle of the night.
His shadow's
It's
nodding
scary.
behind him.
Do you not have, like, a whole judge me on my sleeping?
I'm concerned for your health. Why can't I be concerned without it becoming judging
telling
you?
me to have a full night of sleep and you're making me...
Well, you said it'd be
I'm
nice
telling
to
you, I'm
sleep in.
concerned because you're stopping the part where you breathe.
You tell me that in the morning, not right before I'm about to go to sleep.
Now
I'm going
he's
to be
just gonna
thinking about my
thinking about
breathing.
it.
Oh.
Well, maybe that'll help.
You breathe funny. Every breath you take is odd. Think about that for a while. Isn't that odd?
I have a deviated septum. How dare you?
You got that diagnosed?
I deviated my septum on purpose for aesthetics.
I like things that are deviant, so I deviated it.
You don't know how money works, and you've deviated your septum. I don't even know what that means fully. What are these kids doing nowadays? I'm a very old man.
I'm gonna say that all the time when I'm an
Yeah.
old man.
Oh man, yeah. We use it for everything.
That's what we're up to. That's what we do now.
I changed my name to
I'll take the
McDonald.
first watch.
I won't be taking any watches. I'm
I'll
just
take
gonna
the
light it.
second.
I'll take third.
I'm gonna take a nap.
All right.
Nap. I'm gonna watch the
A long
insides of these
sleep.
eyelids, bitches.
As you all bed down,
You've been flipping us off a lot. Like, no, you did
it's
it
mostly the
first.
shadow, yeah.
Yeah, that was the shadow.
He
Cholula,
gets it from him.
make a perception check.
I learned it from watching you.
Watching. Same.
16.
Sick.
Oh.
Nice.
You seem bummed.
Because it was
That's
a
a natural
6.
6.
Yeah.
I've been rolling like 4, 5, and 6
Right.
since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
She's always been here. Maybe not in this form, but she's always been rolling 4, 5, and 6.
You get the sense, based on the fact that not a lot of people are sleeping. However, they do seem to be starting to get kind of mobilized by Mantis's appointed men in charge. People in charge, I should say. You get the sense that there are a couple of people on watch as well. On different floors, you can see the kind of like shift change happen during your watch. But no one like sneaks into the building that wasn't already in there or anything of that nature. And your watch passes without incident.
Tight. I'll wake up Aurora.
All right. Aurora, make a perception check, please.
So grumpy. My hair is everywhere. My eyelid, like one is like crusted, closed. I look horrible.
Don't like Your hair wrap is half on,
Half
off.
I'll adjust you. I feel like you're sick. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty. That's a 19.
19. Nice. Yeah, similar situation. You see a shift change eventually. Your friends are all resting well. Silas does do that thing that Rabbit mentioned.
We've been acting harder than we've ever acted before this episode.
Have we?
Yeah.
We invented sleep apnea. We're about to invent phones. What are you talking about?
I deviated my septum for this.
About an hour and a half into your watch, Aurora, you hear that familiar voice again. What are you doing here? I told you not to come. She can see you now. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Arcanarama.
What?
But before we go, we have a giveaway to announce.
Okay.
She sees you when everyone else is asleep.
When you go pee.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fair.
Right. Also worth noting, after that very successful infiltration not being noticed or found by anyone, you all level up.
No shit, bro.
What? That's my favorite.
The winner of the Fable Fire Swirls of Pearl Dice giveaway is Bannerval!
Congrats!
Congratulations, Bannerval. I didn't see from Submergent Stories. Is that who won the first one?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah, I did not see that they want us to open them.
Okay.
You want it to be a secret. Good.
We will hold
Personally.
off.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping eyes, but I'll do a quick scroll just to make sure.
Nope, I don't see anything.
Nope.
Submergent Stories, do you want us to open the box? How about that? Just
How
real
about
quick.
It's a secret.
Oh yeah, they're still here.
No one knows your treasures.
I'm so hungry. I got like, my stomach is eating itself.
Yeah, I'm also
what the hell is
very
going on.
hungry.
You guys
think it's 'cause we
acted
had
your
an early
hardest.
We ate at like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to eat
Just
again
before you guys
and then
arrived.
stay up
Y'all
even
are
later.
like smart and prepare and eat prior. Wow. That's like impressive. I chug a cold brew and I keep it pushing.
Y'all want to know what I get 11 for a rogue?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
What'd
do.
you get?
Reliable talent. By 11th level, you have refined your chosen skills until they approach perfection. When you make an ability check that lets you add your proficiency bonus, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
First
you
off-
can't roll below a 10 now on ability checks.
That's
So, fuck you, dice,
You know
with
what?
your
Yeah.
5s and your 6s.
Yeah.
all right.
Can you just roll me a D10? Just put a 1 before it.
This
That would have
makes
been so nice this entire episode.
it- I need to be like a level 12 rogue, and it'll fix all of my rolling problems.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Every single time I land something
Sorry, you
different.
might. Am I gonna do that? And just
Blade Song
wait till
Wizard
it's
to
fucking-
fix getting hit.
I get
Cameron breaks
either
that.
an ability score improvement or a feat. Like, obviously, I didn't have a feat, but what?
Fair, valid.
Do you know what you're going to take yet?
I think I've gone as far into barbarian as I want to go. I think I'm gonna go back to monk because I've missed some dope shit.
Nice.
Missed
That
some-
means you'll get to start running on walls.
right? Maybe.
I think that's what you get at this level.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
gonna
you're
make
missing
this-
right now.
100
Oh,
times.
yeah, a
I
lot
just like the
easier.
visual of water lapping up against the wall and then people running up the wall out of
Oh, man. Shit. I'm going to have to draw that now. Fuck. That's so rad.
running out of the wall.
Oh, God. I know what I want.
Well,
Finally taking that level of bard.
thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll do a quick recap on our announcements in case anybody missed it, and just for those of you who are still here so you can know what is going on. Let me get to that portion of my notes. Here we are. So, we are now streaming next week, September 3rd, next
Yep.
Saturday, 8 p.m. regular time. It is going to be Miranda's farewell stream. However,
Not forever.
to get more Miranda goodness, you're going to have to join us over on YouTube and probably Spotify for our new podcast, which is going to be a new game in a Taylor-specific setting.
Yeah.
It's called Frontier Arcanarama in Space. That's not the subtitle.
Oh, wait, it's a musical.
That's just what it is. But Taylor's going to be running that game, and we're all going to be playing in it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be super fun.
It's gonna be edited and sound affected.
I'm so excited.
too.
It's going to be very fun. We are still off September 10th and 17th, but we'll be back on September 24th at our regular time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, with a very special one-shot featuring the Gilded Rogue himself, McCall Clark, a.k.a. Cookie Dog.
Cook it up.
It's going to be so much fun. We're going to be doing the Order of Heralds, which was alluded to earlier, the postal service of Kavora, because, you know, in a world this dangerous, somebody's got to deliver the mail.
Postmasters.
I'm gonna do my best to not be in the Rocky Mountains for that. I want to watch that one so bad.
Yeah.
Don't be in the Rocky
I
Mountains.
have to drive through mountains.
Don't.
If you do, just call one of us. We'll put it on speaker and say you're in the middle.
Fuck yeah!
There's
Okay.
no reception in Colorado Mountains.
That's true. I didn't think about
It's a
that.
nightmare.
I think that's all of our announcements. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next stream next week. But until then, stay safe out there, adventurers.
Really smoothed into that one. That was weird.
No, it's like a gradient. No, I like it.
Hey.